Bring the checks over here cause it cashless. Tried to put me in a box, but I'm cashless.
Ooh. I like that. What's up, you guys? Happy Thursday. We're back.
Did I mix it right?
Oh, you mixed that.
I did I?
Okay, DJ Fluent. Yeah. No.
Oh, the diabolical over here. Let me tell you, boy. I told you whenever you get that software, you get in front of Tone with it.
Yeah,
man, he gets going, boy. And you see the
you see me dunking there? Ooh, I still got it.
I did see that. So,
oh man,
what's good? Thanks for the super chat or the chat. I'm gonna read out a few members before we get started here. Mr. Steele, Kanji Walker, Patty C, and Arcade 94. Appreciate all you guys joining us today. How are you guys doing today?
I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm angry. I know we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so we'll talk about it. But I'm very angry today.
What are you pissed about,
yeah,
Tom?
What's
the problem?
Someone, it happened. I want to say it happened last week. And I pushed it to the side. I'm like, I'm not talking about it. It's stupid. I hate it. You guys know how I feel about it. It's just not. And then like 3 days went by and someone brought it up to me. I'm like, no, just please, no. And then two people brought it up to me again today and they're like, what does this mean? And I'm like, it means that people are stupid. It means that teams make bad decisions. It means that we're giving out participation retirement numbers now, because no offense to Udonis Haslem, okay, great, you played 47 years in the league, awesome. You don't get your jersey retired. I'm sorry, you don't. I don't care if you played for the same damn franchise for 50 years. You're a mid at best role damn player. And so now if his gets retired, that's half of everybody who's ever played in the league now should get their numbers retired. That's it.
Did they do what he did though, Tone? Let's start there. You can't do that, Tone. No, you're not going to do that. It's not just he wasn't just there, Tone. That's not the way this works.
Yes,
no, he was not. He was a starter. That 2006 championship team. He was a starter on that unit.
Wow, he was a starter. Whoa!
I'm sorry, Tone. In the 77-year history of the NBA, how many guys can say that they were starters on a team?
Fred VanVleet.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay, Fred VanVleet was not a starter. That was Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. Cool. Right, Kyle Lowry. He shouldn't get his number retired either.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tone, because Kyle Lowry, if you look at his numbers,
oh Jesus,
if you look at what he did, yep, we're gonna have that I know you hate it, but we're gonna have that conversation. His name is gonna come up on the ballot. Whether you like it or not.
Hey, let's retire Patrick McCaw's number because he's the only person in the modern era to in the last 18 years to three-peat.
And you know what he didn't do? He didn't do for Toronto what Udonis Haslem did for the Miami Heat. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Udonis Haslem is the all-time leading rebounder in Miami Heat history. He's in the top 5 all-time in blocks in Miami Heat history.
Of course, he was there for 37 years, but
I don't care if he was there for 27 years. He was there. The average pro career, Tone, is 4 years. That's the average pro career. He did that times 5, Tone. And this is an undrafted guy.
Kevin Willis, we retiring his number?
Did Kevin Willis do for the Atlanta Hawks what Udonis Haslem did for Miami Heat? No, he did not.
You're right. He did more. He did more.
No, he did not. He wasn't a starter on a championship team. No, he was not. He's not the all-time leading rebounder in Atlanta Hawks.
He's on a team that won a championship. Doesn't mean he didn't win them a championship. He was along, as they say, he was a bus rider. He was not a bus driver. He's the 5th option out of the 5 starters. Please stop saying he won a championship.
So if that's true, then Tone, then why didn't they replace him with somebody else? If it's that simple, why didn't they just get somebody else to replace him? I'll tell you why didn't they get somebody else.
He's a good role player. He's a good role player. He's a good locker room guy. He's all those things. He's tough. But I'm sorry, when a guy averages less than 4 points, under 2 rebounds, and shoots under 35% for his career, you don't retire his number.
Let me ask a quick question just to clarify this and see where the divide is for you two. So I understand like league expectations, but when a specific franchise retires a jersey, like what is that up to their discretion or?
That's number one.
Okay. Okay.
That's that's number one.
And last
number
point,
two.
Jay,
Keep going, H.
well,
Keep going.
I guess my second point to you, Jay, is also if you're saying, well, he led the franchise in blocks, well, does every broken record that a player does, even if it's Anthony Lamb on the Warriors broke, whatever, the most, steals in a season, does he get his jersey retired?
There's a difference between a season, H, and all time. So if I could do something in one season, for example, Kawhi Leonard, what he did for the Toronto Raptors in one season, could that be equivalent to what, I don't know. I don't think that's equivalent to anything that anybody else has ever done, because what Kawhi Leonard did in that one season as an elite player is unique. Nobody else has done that.
What did you say he leads the Miami Heat in?
I think he leads. I think he's their all-time leading rebounder in rebounds. I think he's their. I'm confident he's their all-time leading rebound leader, and I think he's in the top 5 all-time in blocks and in steals. I think he's in the top 5 all-time in points too with the Miami Heat, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're saying that. Okay, you had said he led. Okay, yeah, he leads in rebounds.
Yeah, he's their all-time leading rebounder.
Awesome.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's their all-time leading rebounder, 100%. So, and
we should retire Ronnie Cycley's number 2 because he's 3rd.
Ronnie Cycley did not lead. Ronnie Cycley did not start on a championship team in Miami. No, he did not.
That's not Ronnie Cycley's fault. He didn't have Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade.
Well, and this guy did. And in the process of him doing that, he still did what he did. And by the way, Ronnie Cycley was a first-round pick out of Syracuse. Udonis Haslem was not drafted. He was not drafted. For him to be not drafted and accelerate himself and excel himself.
This is not a disrespect. This is not a disrespect Udonis Haslem moment. This is if we retire his number, where does it stop? Because you already know I don't like to retire anyone's number.
You hate that. You hate it.
Oh,
you absolutely hate it.
I want to retire Tracy McGrady's number. How do you think I feel about Haslem?
Paul George
Tracy should be in the Hall of Fame.
Quick side note, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you read it off for us, Jay?
Paul George is an all-star. So
no. An all-star or an all-star alternate?
That's what an all-star is, Tom. Paul George is an all-star. Yes, he is. No, he's on the all-star team. Yes, he is.
Wow. Get hurt and then they put him in?
No, nobody's got hurt. They're reading off the reserve. They're reading off the reserve right now. In the process of reading off the reserve.
It's not hate. Stop. It's not hate. I'm done with all the lies. We're going to be truthful. Okay. This show is going to be filled with truth. Trust me, when we get to a certain conversation about trades, it's coming, baby.
Oh, boy. So, Anthony Edwards, H. Boogie.
Okay.
Yes. Anthony Edwards, yes.
He deserves
it. Anthony Davis, yes. Leonard, yes. Devin Booker, yes. Curry, yes. Paul George, yes. And they're still going. Mm-hmm. I was surprised with Paul George. I was surprised with Paul George. Wow, Cat is an all-star.
Wow. So two Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
Is Gobert going to be an all-star? Or
that's what I thought was going to be
all-star means nothing.
Okay. Here's the hate again. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Enjoy the moment.
For 100 years, they were picked by the fans, and now they're picked by the. Now, listen. Did you see Did you see who some of the players picked?
No.
Did you see who some of the players picked?
Was it their teammates or just like insane choices?
It was insane choices, such as like I'm sure I got a vote. I'll pull it up. NBA voting this year. You're gonna see some names and you'll be like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Ticket said you're a big hater. What?
Ticket said that. you know the thing about the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that saying in Canada. I didn't know that they did.
That's it right there.
I did not know that they had that saying up in Canada. I did not know that.
Hey, you forget I lived down south for a decade.
You learned a thing or two.
I learned things.
Okay, so yeah, give us a few names that were surprising to you, Fluent, if you've got any on hand. Because I know there's a few first times, like Sengun was on there, which I think is well deserved, right?
Sengun did not make the All-Star team.
Oh, he didn't?
No. Mm-mm. Once again,
I
H. So
say people who got votes though.
Yeah, I
Right.
think he got votes, but I thought he would be on there or get voted in.
So as of right now, H, the West reserves are Cat, Ant, AD,
Book.
Leonard, Book, Curry, Paul George.
Okay.
Paul George is an all-star. I did not think Paul George would be an all-star. No, I didn't.
I could see Paul George being an all-star, one, because he plays in Los Angeles, so there's going to be a portion. There's so many people there that he'll get that. I think players still respect Paul George. And as far as the media goes, when there's a team that's doing as well as they've done, right? Like they started off, you remember, especially right after the James Harden trade, they looked horrible, right? They couldn't win a game for the life of them, and then they really started to pick it up. So I think he got enough of like just chunks of each one of those people that get votes. So yeah, I could see that.
Fluent, how is AD in with a losing record? You want to address that?
Because it's all stars. It's a popularity contest. It's not about success. And he's listen. It's not about your winning record. It's not like an MVP, right? Where if you have a losing record, you have no shot at it. And also, it's an all-star. It's the people that, if you want to be honest, what an all-star is a player that now, because of the voting, that other players, media, and fans want to see in a game. That's all it is. It has nothing to, now, it doesn't mean that you're getting in with no ability, but it has nothing to do with your ability, how you're playing, right? We've seen guys who are old and done. Heck, we've seen guys who are injured the whole time and they get voted in to start. So that's why I say I don't hold a lot of credence to it, because of the way that it's better now, because at least it's not just the fans.
Right.
But yeah, so of course they don't know. No one cares about the record. No one cares.
I don't understand why there was such a big deal. Like guys like Utone, Charles Barkley, you guys hated the fans voting. The All-Star game is about that's what All-Star Weekend was about in 1985 when it became. I'm sorry, in 1984 when it became a thing. It was about the fans. This is who was it. This is who it is. What it was about. This is who they wanted to see. They wanted to see Steph Curry. They want to see Paul George. Now the coaches vote. The coaches vote the reserves. That's the way it's always been. Now that's probably different now. I think that there's some media votes that are involved with that. But the coaches voted the reserves in the past. Yeah. The fans voted the starters, and the coaches voted the
more weight. Sometimes you give more weight to the reserves in an all-star game because they were picked by the coaches versus the. But like here's why I say the players.
Okay.
Here's some players who got votes. Chris Boucher, Jonathan Isaac, Nick Richards, Trendon Warford, Mohamed Gueye.
Who? Mohamed
exactly. Jerice Walker, Thaddeus Young. Like, are these guys voting for themselves? Noah Clowney, Jamal King. These guys all got all-star votes from players.
Wait, are these does every single player in the league have an all-star vote? Like
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, H. I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Or do only like the stars on teams have an all-star vote? Does anyone know in the chat?
No, everybody gets a vote.
Every player gets a vote.
Yeah,
and every coach gets a vote.
Everybody gets a vote.
Were they just jokes? Like, all right, man, let's all, like, one team is like, oh, we'll all vote for, our rookie or something. Like, where do those
I'll vote for myself. How about that? I'm going to vote for myself.
There's a lot of them that have one vote. That have one vote.
They voted for themselves.
They just voted for themselves.
Got one too.
I don't blame them. But like Georges Niang, who has the
in Cleveland.
He's good.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, he's good. Really?
Not an all-star good.
15,
let's chill out.
All-star votes from players.
Not all-star good, but he's not a nobody like some of these other guys.
He's built like me. He shouldn't be getting any all-star votes.
All right, fair enough.
So when I say it means nothing, well,
what? Wait. Since when are we now? Well, yeah, I understand that we're discounting what the All-Star game is today because what it's become. But with that being said, Tone, now it means nothing. So in 10 years, Steph Curry who's been in the league for 15 years and been an all-star for 12, has he really only been an all-star for 4 years because of what the all-star game has turned into?
Listen, I don't hold any very little weight to all-star because technically you're picking a person for half of a season, right? If you're doing it correctly, because it's this year's all-stars. So you're only picking them on what he's done from October to March. So, okay, not even October because they started the last day of October. So November, December, January, February. So you're picking an all-star for what technically, right? Because if you're being correct, what they did for 4 months, because you shouldn't pick on legacy, on all these other things. Listen, if you guys want him, feel free. Please send Ticket the link. I don't. That's not my job anymore, Ticket. But feel if he has a beef.
Wait, but wait a minute though, Tone. The idea that
my point is so if you're basing it off of the 4 months, no, we know it's popularity, right? And so that's all I say is that if I'm going to look at you and you're a 15-time All-Star, but you've been an All-Pro twice, I'm going to take that into consideration.
Oh, that does matter. But I'd like to think that the better players in the game consistently make the All-Star team. So there are some exceptions. Like Chris Bosh made the All-Pro team one time. He was an All-Star like what, 11 times, something crazy like that. I think
there's a great example. Brad Miller was an All-Star.
Yeah, well, he was only an All-Star one time, so anybody can make the All-Star team one time. No, let's not go overboard with that, Tone. But I don't want to discount a guy, right? I don't want to discount a guy who.
I'm not completely eliminating. I'm lowering the value that it holds because it's like
why?
Because, like you just pointed out, being a 10-time All-Star but only one-time All-Pro says something.
That does matter. But wouldn't it be fair to have these guys on a case-to-case basis? So a guy like, I'm not going to talk about Chris Bosh, who made the All-Pro team one time but made the All-Star team 12 times. Like I talk about Karl Malone, who made the All-Star team 14 times and made the All-Pro team 14 times. I'm not going to talk about those two guys the same.
Absolutely.
Right? So should it be
the difference?
The difference is that Karl Malone was an All-Pro, and the difference is that
which takes the level of what an All-Star means down. Because if he didn't have that caveat of being an All-NBA player, you'd hold him in a different standard, right?
If he was a 12 or 13-time All-Star and he only made the All-Pro team twice, like Vince Carter, who I think Vince Carter is like a 10-time All-Star and made the All-Pro team.
Great example.
Made the All-Pro team twice. I don't talk about Vince Carter the same way I talk about James Harden. I don't talk about Vince Carter the same way.
But had Vince Carter made 14 All-Stars and 14 All-NBA teams, you'd hold it differently, right? And again, the All-NBA team.
Or if he made the All-Pro team 6 or 7 times. That's fair. Like to make the All-Pro team twice.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying is that the All-Star is it's cool, but a guy like Vince Carter should be in the All-Star game every single year because you want to play in an All-Star game, but not an All-Pro.
You two guys are ashamed.
Why are we ashamed?
Haley, how you doing, baby? Y'all two dudes, you two, something is really wrong with you two guys, and I'm serious about it. I listen to y'all every week, and I listen to the cap over and over and over and over. You know how much cap? Right? Hold on. You know how much cap I listen to from you guys? The cap is so bad.
Where's the nonsense ticket? Hold on. Where's the nonsense ticket? Where is the nonsense ticket?
I asked these two guys a question, Haley. First of all, I asked him a question, right? So I asked him about AD because I wanted to see what he was going to say, right? Because all those players you named that was reserved, all of them got winning records except for AD. They're reserves. They got voted by the coaches. How in the hell did AD get voted by the coaches? And he's on a losing team. The team is losing. The team is horrible.
That's the first time. That's not the first.
Is he the only All-Star on a losing team?
No.
Yes, on the reserves. On the reserves, yes.
But that's not the first time that's happened, and we've had examples of that.
No. But who else does it happen with? I'm asking you.
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up, Ticket. So DeMar DeRozan made the All-Star team. Chicago had a losing record. DeMar DeRozan made the All-Star team.
Did he get voted? Did he get in by the coaches now? He's on the All-Star team this year?
Not this year, but last year he was a reserve.
No, I'm talking about this year. No, hold on.
Okay, so this year's different. But I'm going off of this is what I'm going off of, Ticket. I'm going off of cases. So this isn't the first time this has happened with Anthony Davis.
So hold on. When he got voted in last year, did they have a winning and losing record? Did he get voted by the coaches or by the fans?
No, he did not get voted by the fans. He got voted in by the coach. He was a reserve, like you just said.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up their record last year because I don't trust you.
And the same thing, and by the way, DeJounte Murray he was also a reserve, and with him being a reserve,
they had a winning record.
Well, Ticket. So you're saying, hold on. So let's be clear. Ticket. What you're saying is no one on the Bulls, the Hawks, the Nets, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Pistons, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Rockets, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Trailblazers, or the Spurs. None of them should have an all-star.
No,
Steph Curry
doesn't have a winning record. I feel like you're robbing. Hold on. I feel like unless they're voted by the fans as a superstar,
made the all-star team too.
Unless they're voted, I'm just saying, unless they're voted by the fans in the starting lineup, that's the fans control that vote. But I'm saying with the coaches, with the other guys, bro, it shouldn't be no dudes losing on there to give up because now you're depriving.
So take Steph Curry off too, then Ticket. Take Curry off too.
I said you didn't hear what I said.
I understand what you're saying. So you're saying those 16 teams, that's more than half the league. Those 16 teams that have losing records, none of their players should be all-star.
Hold on. Why should we calling those guys all-star? No, listen. The players that get voted by the fans, like the super duper stars, they're going to get voted either way, whether they got a winning or losing record. I understand that. You can't control what the fans do. I'm talking about the coaches that vote and that getting the most of the vote for the reserve. That's
not how it works anymore. Because the fan vote is only worth 25-something, 30%. So
right, but what's the other vote?
Hold on, it's fan, player, and coaches vote for the starters. Right,
so I'm saying, hold on. So what I'm saying is that them other guys, that you're naming.
Media. Sorry, media.
The media, the players, and those other guys. We shouldn't be, bro. They listen. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. I just watched Shanae on ESPN praise LeBron James for sitting out in this game tonight against the Celtics. This is the Lakers versus the Celtics. She says, "Oh, I like that idea." Kendra Perkins said right up there before her and said, "Oh, the only reason why he's sitting out is because they're protesting the coach." And she said,
are they really?
You know what they should do? Any Laker that goes to Boston once a year who sits out should be traded the next day because that is blasphemous. The greatest oldest rivalry in NBA history. You play in Boston once, Lakers versus Celtics, 17 titles, and you're gonna miss that game. That's
this is the type of stuff that's going on, and that's why I said as far as the All-Star game. That's why as far as the All-Star game, bro. AD should not be an All-Star, bro. If he's not voted by the fans, chill. If he's not voted, we understand LeBron James, generational player. He's gonna get voted by the fans. Cool. We ain't worried about that. We know that, and guess what? I guarantee LeBron won't miss the All-Star game, but he'll miss the Boston Celtics game, right? Okay, cool. So anyways, I'm going to say this to you, right? So when you're talking about that, bro, AD should not be there. You're depriving somebody who worked hard on their team, who has a better record, that should be there. So those guys you named, you said, "Oh, I'm surprised Paul George is there." The Clippers are the third team in the West. So that shouldn't be a surprise that they got their two top guys in the All-Star team because they're the third team in the West. So now let's look at this. Let's look at this other way. The Lakers are the 10th seed. They shouldn't have anybody in the. Sabonis should have made it over AD. Let's just be honest. He on a winning team.
Sabonis not an All-Star?
Said you like it?
No.
Wait, he's not an All-Star whatsoever.
No.
And Ticket, what seed are the Kings?
Chill said he liked Sabonis today.
I love Sabonis.
And he didn't even make the All-Star team. And look, he putting in work, and he's on a way better team. They giving these awards, chill town, and I ain't talking about the players. I mean the fans. I'm talking about the media, the players, and the coaches. That is insane that you have guys that are. And see, that's why I say the system is rigged, bro. It's not fair because now if these other dudes is really putting in work, we're robbing guys of accolades like the boy I just named, Sabonis. Sabonis should be an All-Star, bro.
The question I'm having, though, Ticket, is if Sabonis is an All-Star, I understand that the Lakers are a game under 500. They're probably gonna be 2 games. They're probably gonna be 2 games after tonight. They're gonna be 2 games after tonight because I think they're gonna lose to the Celtics. But if you look at what Anthony Davis, you think that what you look at what Anthony Davis has been doing, like why is Anthony Davis not an All-Star? We're talking about a 25-12 guy, Ticket. 25-12 guy. He's in the top 5 in the league in rebounding. Not only is he in the top 5 in the league in rebounding, he's in the top 5 in the league in blocks. Why isn't he an All-Star? Averaging 25 a game?
Bro, because it doesn't matter. It's dudes on worse teams that's putting up numbers. They ain't no All-Star.
This is not about team success when you're talking about All-Stars.
Yes, it has to be. Hold on. But if you're an All-Star, it should be based off as well your impact on your team's success. Ain't no MVP. Ain't no all NBA performer that's on a bad team getting those accolades, bro. Most of the time. You don't really see.
It goes to my point that all-star means nothing.
No. That's because
Tone,
Tone,
stop saying that.
you're a part of the
You're making
problem.
me nuts.
Tone is a part of the problem if he's saying that. Tone ain't being a part of the solution. You feel what I'm saying, Haley? If he's gonna take that mentality, if you give Tone a vote, Tone just gonna do whatever all the rest of the people doing. He not gonna do what he knows is right. If Tone knows what's right, there's no way in the world Sabonis shouldn't be an all-star. Sabonis should be an all-star before AD, based off of just what he's done and the success of his team, bro. Those are real all-stars. If AD and them was such all-stars, the Lakers wouldn't be this bad.
And Jay, go ahead. Paolo made it.
Bonchero's an all-star too. Bonchero's an all-star.
Oh, he shouldn't be. They're on a losing team.
No, Bonchero winning. Orlando's winning.
Bonchero's an all-star. Maxey is an all-star.
Winning.
Julius Randle is an all-star.
Winning.
Jalen Brunson is an all-star.
Winning.
Jaylen Brown is an all-star.
Winning.
Donovan Mitchell is an all-star.
Winning.
Bam is an all-star.
Winning.
Actually,
all them dudes winning. All them dudes is winning, Haley.
Hold on. Do you have the full list now?
Yes.
Can you go?
Okay, so
all the East reserves?
So yes, all the East reserves. In the East, you got Bonchero as a reserve. Bonchero, Julius Randle.
Winning, right, Haley?
Bonchero, Julius Randle,
winning.
Brunson.
They winning,
Jaylen Brown.
They winning.
Donovan Mitchell.
Winning.
Bam.
Winning.
Maxey. Those are the reserves.
AD's the only one. He's the only one. Do the West. All the reserves on both teams. He's the only one that's a loser.
I didn't do the West yet.
Hold on. Do the West. Do the West.
So in the West, in the West Tone, you got Cat
winning, Haley.
Ant
winning.
Let's see, Curry.
Winning.
Losing.
Winning.
Loser.
That's the one.
Anthony Davis.
Loser.
Leonard. Paul George.
Winning. So Curry, they gave it to Curry because they're gonna jackstrap Steph Curry regardless. If Curry lose 100 games, they're gonna vote for him regardless. Just because, and I don't like that either. Because realistically,
have the same energy.
I have the same energy. I said I don't like that either.
You tried to make an excuse.
I said no. I said I'm telling you.
No. You said Anthony Davis shouldn't be on because he's on a losing team.
I'm with you.
Therefore, Curry got to come off too.
I'm going to tell you why
Anthony Davis is off. Curry got to come off too.
I'm going to tell you why I said that. Michael Jordan should have made the All-Star team with the Wizards.
Bonus in there.
I'm going to tell you why I said that.
Curry and AD out.
Michael Jordan should not have made the All-Star. I'm telling you why I said that. Michael Jordan should not have made the All-Star team with the Wizards. The only reason why they did it is because of marketing, money, and because it's Michael Jordan. That's the only reason why. Sure. So when we talk about Steph Curry, that's the only reason why they're doing it with Steph Curry, because of legacy. Those other dudes, man.
He's been good. That's not the only reason. He's actually
been. It is. What is he leading this year? Haley, don't make me get on you. What is he leading this year?
I mean,
wait a minute. I just want you to be. consistent.
Hold on. I want Haley to be consistent.
Let me. This is my show. Let me talk before I mute you.
What is he leading?
If AD shouldn't be on because he's on a losing team, then Curry shouldn't be on because he's on a losing team. Just keep it consistent.
Now answer that, Haley. And I want you to answer Tone.
Okay, so wait a minute.
We just made the argument because of legacy. It's Steph Curry, and I mean his stats are good. They're all-star worthy, but his team is kind of the problem for him. Obviously.
Okay, so how many guards? Forget players. How many guards in the league are averaging 28 a game? Name them. And SGA, right?
Yeah.
SGA, Luka,
Ant-Man, right?
No, Ant-Man is not averaging 28 a game.
Oh, Tatum,
SGA, Luka, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Luka, SGA. What'd you say? How much? 28?
28 a game.
Oh, Steph isn't doing it either.
What is he, 27 and a half?
He's 27 and a half.
27 and a half. That's not 28.
There you go. Oh,
that's 28.
That's not 28. No, it's not.
Dame's not. Brunson's not. Halliburton's not. Fox is not. So
none of these other dudes.
Round up.
He's third in guards in points per game.
This ain't no weed killer.
And at what age? 36 years old. At 36 years old.
36 years old in March.
What's LeBron's stat line?
I think he's like 20, 22, 23 a game, something like that.
Yeah, so that's all-star worthy?
Something like that. Well,
or again, is that legacy and age?
If you're rounding up, it's 25. He's averaging 25.
6 and 7.
Wait, rounding up from what? 22 and a half?
24.9.
Okay, so that's 25.
27.5 that you gave Curry, you hater.
Fine. I thought you were rounding up from 20.
Mm-hmm.
No. And he's also got he's 7.5 rebounds.
Right.
He probably has about 7.5 assists,
Mhm.
1.3 steals, over half a block. So no, I'd say he's doing significantly more than your boy.
Man,
significantly
man,
more
I
on
just
the
wanna
on a
go-
team that's just as garbage and has a lot more all-stars and help than Steph does right
Well,
now.
hold on. Who are you going with? 25, 7-7, or 28, 4-5?
Who sits out for the
If you're
Celtics
trying to
games?
use
Yeah,
number.
I'll take the latter.
Oh no, it's over, bro.
What happened?
What?
Embiid
We
is
know
done.
Steven Adams got traded. We know.
No,
No.
Embiid's done for the season.
Yeah, torn meniscus.
Who's done?
Wait, he's out for the season?
Embiid.
Who?
Embiid
No, he's
has
not.
a torn meniscus. I'm looking at it right now. What are you talking
Embiid
about?
Embiid has torn meniscus. He's gonna
What
miss
are you talking about?
in his
I
left
knew
knee.
he tore
Yeah.
it.
Season?
Yeah.
I knew he tore it. It's over with for him. I told you. I saw the coach after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you knocked him for missing a game.
Now,
Ticket, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of
I let you
yourself.
finish your show like that. Now you put that in your pipes and smoke it, Tone and Fluent. Now guess what? Now we get to have a real MVP conversation, which goes by the name of Shea and a couple of other cats.
Joker.
Hey,
Joker.
Yeah.
Joker.
Hey, love y'all, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in the comment section.
I
Things are
take it. Be
jumping
easy,
on.
brother. No doubt about that. Hey, let me tell you something. This is a problem, Tone, and this is a problem moving forward with Embiid because this is the same knee from last year, same knee from last year that this happened with. So this sinks Philly, by the way.
Yeah.
This sinks them.
It's done.
Yes, this absolutely. And don't get me wrong. I think that they're still going to be
for Anthony Davis.
I still think they're going to be competitive. 100%, I believe that they're still going to be competitive. But this sinks them as a group. Definitely, this does.
Listen, what are the next steps? I mean, Embiid, you can't continue to hope for Maxey to be enough as at the guard and Embiid to maybe make it to the postseason. Like, what do you do if you're Philly? What do you do? Do you make a trade now? Do you write this season off?
No, the season's done. What are they doing without Embiid? Who are you trading? What
I think can you plan early for next season and at least trade?
Sure.
I don't know what you do.
Gotta get some picks. Maybe you should trade Embiid.
He's damaged goods, Tone.
Yeah, this ain't the time.
No, this is not the time.
Whoever does that trade is fired.
Right, absolutely. Especially for what you're gonna get for him in return.
I'm gonna trade Embiid to the Lakers for LeBron and tell them they can go draft Bronny, and there you go.
Okay.
Hey, do not fall into that trap. That's a troll right there.
I don't want that. I would never take that.
Nobody wants that. Hell no. Philly, they would be outside. They will be outside the Comcast Center in first view. They'll be outside with picket signs. You crazy? Hell no.
The
Lakers need to trade LeBron and AD right now. Right now. It's the best opportunity. It's the most that they're going to get for them. They need to trade them right now. Don't fall into the LeBron. Don't fall. What is it? It's the LeBron effect. Don't fall for it. You always hold him, and then he goes, "All right, I'm done." And you're left with nothing. You're left holding your sack. So don't do it. Trade him.
You are the one who told me last season. I vividly remember this. Like
I'm saying it again this season.
You told me last season when Anthony Davis had them rolling. I think he was like 38 and 10.
Yeah,
he was like,
move him.
He was like, move him right now. Move him right now. Get what you can get for him right now.
Yeah,
100%.
Here we are. I don't think Anthony Davis's value, as good as he is, because I still think he's an elite player. Top 10 player. I don't think his value is what it was last year during that time.
That's why they should have traded him then, but do it now. Let me ask you this. Listen, I'm a Laker. You know how I am with my Lakers.
You bleed Laker purple. You do. You bleed it.
And I can tell you right now, this is not a team that's winning an NBA championship. And that's what we play for in LA is championships. So if we know, and you know my business philosophy, if you're going to fail fast. So let's go. Let's rebuild right now because you can do it on the fly and you can do it quick because there's still some good young players there. And we already blew up the really good young core that we had, right, to win a title and then not make the playoffs and then bring in a bunch of old guys. But again, the LeBron effect. And if we go down this path where we're going to trade away more young guys, bring in old guys, veterans to make one more run that's going to be failed, and then LeBron's either going to move on or retire, because let's be honest, he's 137 years old. So he's going to move on.
He just turned 118 a couple of months ago.
Fair enough.
Okay. But he just turned 118.
You've said this. He can't be the best player on a championship team anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not
so
anymore.
Move on. If your goal is to win championships, then you got to move on. And if that means he goes to another team and wins one, and you look like Bill Belichick just sitting there going, damn, Brady left and he won a chip, so be it. You have to take that chance, because if Mac Jones has panned out, I'm going to use a football reference. If Mac Jones had panned out and we were like, oh, he's the second coming, he looks like a genius. Okay, now he looks like a dummy and he's gone. We got to take that chance. Got to take that chance.
So, and what is the oh, go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead, H. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, and as an organization, what do they have to lose at this point? But I also wanted to ask about the Darvin Ham situation. But you go first, Jay.
Well, what they have to lose is James. He's the moneymaker. He's the moniker. Tone, if you're moving off of James, you are essentially starting over. Don't get me wrong. When you lost Kobe Bryant, right? When you lost Kobe Bryant, the Lakers were still relevant, but losing James is a big deal, a huge deal. Now, as far as rebuilding, are you prepared to start over? That's the $1 million question, Tone. Are you guys really prepared to go? Because I know what your philosophy is. Your idea is we compete for NBA championships. And as of right now, this team that's a game under 500, we made it to the Western Conference Championship last year, and we got swept. And Tone, you know how I feel. I don't care where you are about getting swept in the playoffs. When you get swept in the playoffs, you're not close. So if we are that unit again, and we're going backwards, and we're trying to compete for an NBA championship, what are we doing with this unit? What are we doing with this unit? Because the core of this unit with Anthony Davis, who we just signed an extension on, he's been in and out of the lineup. Not nearly as beat up as he was last year, but he's been in and out of the lineup, sure. With that being said, he's 30 years old. He's still got some good years left in him. We could still get some good years out of him. So we have two choices here. We could either move off of him and completely start over, which I don't think that anybody's really prepared for, because if you're going to do that, you should have did it last year and got into the Wemby sweepstakes, but you didn't do that. So if you're going to do that now, you have to be prepared to be bad, because nobody's coming to Los Angeles in terms of free agency.
Sure they are.
Who, Tone? Who are you getting to come to Los Angeles?
Kawhi Leonard.
Chet? He's already in Los Angeles.
That's right. And the only reason he's not in a Lakers because of LeBron. So if LeBron's gone, he'll slide right over to the correct
an extension with the Clippers. He's not coming to the Lakers. That's not happening. So let's kill that logic right now.
Yeah, because Paul George didn't just sign an extension with OKC before he made his way to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm, that's true. But
that's the era we live in.
Yeah,
contracts mean nothing anymore. They mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They mean nothing.
They don't.
Tone, what are we going to do about these postseason awards? So Jimmy Butler has 4 games and he's out. That's it. He's got 4 more games and he's out.
Embiid is there too.
I'm so torn about this, because you remember when they announced the 65 games and I was like, yeah, I was all for it. I'm like, yeah, stop the load management, stop the BS, blah, blah, blah. I hated it.
Yeah.
And from a fan perspective, like, you know, LeBron and AD sitting out the one visit to Boston this year drives me nuts. But at the same time, man, there's certain awards that affect your paycheck. And like you break your leg and it's like, now I don't get paid because I broke my leg. Like, it's just I've never been so on the fence, because I see both sides and I agree with both sides and I disagree with both sides. So I'm really torn. Like, listen, should a guy who plays, and I said this, you know, I use Scottie Pippen as the example, should a guy who plays 45 games make all NBA, all defensive MVP? No, they shouldn't. And with the exception of
not an all-league defender in '98, he wasn't.
Sorry,
Scottie Pippen was not an all-league defender,
but he was on the all-defensive team.
He was not an all-pro that year.
With the exception of, who was it? Bill Walton, who won it with 50 some odd games. For the most part, all the MVPs have played 65 plus games anyways.
Right.
I think that's already built into the awards. So as much as I agreed with it, I'm like, you know what? maybe they shouldn't have actually put a hard number on it, and they could have swayed the voters in saying, hey, if these two guys are close, right, you got to give it to the availability guy. Like, this is why I'm torn, because even as I'm saying, I'm like, but then there's this, there's that. But I get it. There's load management. There is a problem.
So, Tona, I need you to take your podcast. I need you to take your podcast headphones off, and I need you to put your executive hat on right now. That's what I need you to do. I need you to put your executive hat on right now. And the idea that now making the All-Pro team, you get an extra $40 million is now affected by the media, has now become a thing. When you, as an executive, Tone, you're going to pay me whether I make the All-Pro team. You're going to pay me if I make the All-Star team. You're going to pay me if I make the All-League defensive team. It's just now out what you're going to pay me. Now, the idea of the $40 million, let's be clear on what that's about. That $40 million isn't just for the players. That $40 million, that extra money, H, that was to keep guys who are homegrown. That was to keep those guys at home, like John Morant, like Tyrese Halliburton. That was to keep those guys home, because the idea of these guys bouncing around. That's what that was for. That wasn't because, I'm going to make an extra $40 million because I want to. No, that was to keep you in Indiana. That was to keep Gordon Hayward in Utah. That's what that was primarily for. But Tone, you as an executive, you're going to pay me if I make the All-Pro team. You're going to pay me if I make the All-Star team. In fact, that's what you're basing what you're going to pay me off of. You're gonna line me up next to another All-Star. You're gonna line me up. What's the going rate for a starting two guard who's a second team All-Pro? That's how you're gonna treat me. You're not gonna just say that, okay, here goes $40 extra million because you made the All-Pro team. You're gonna do that anyway. It's just outed now.
My issue will always be that someone outside of my organization should never dictate how much money I make. So as an executive, as what I do in life, could you imagine, like, my pay was based on, what some voters or like our customers thought of me? Like that's a bad look. So I don't like that. I think don't
we live in a results society though, Tony? I mean, isn't that what this is about? So the same logic.
No, we don't. We used to.
Hold on. We live in a results society in terms of pay in certain roles, but not based on what someone else who's not involved in the situation, like a reporter deciding whether I'm good enough to get $40 extra million. But
that's the thing, though, Tom. We were doing that anyway. You were doing that anyway with me.
But I within the organization had the control to say, I'm going to give you that or not. And it was based on, hey, I want to try and keep you. Because listen, that money, the whole goal hasn't worked anyways. Because even with the extra money, players are still leaving. They're leaving the money on the table, or they're doing sign-in trades. Right? They're leaving the money on the table. Yeah. So the idea behind it, which was, hey, homegrown, keep them in the smaller markets, blah, blah, blah. It hasn't worked. My issue is, if I, as the executive, am saying, okay, you made All-Pro, I'm going to, instead of $100 million, I'm going to give you $130 million. Cool. That's me. That's my organization. I make that decision. But for me to say, hey, I want to give you $130 million, or I want to give you $200 million. Yo, sorry, Jay, I can't. I can only give you $160 because Woj thought you weren't an All-Pro. Huh? Woj didn't think I was an All-Pro, and that cost me $40 million. That's shit. That's incorrect.
No, you're right. That's shitty. You're right, Tone. It is. Absolutely, it is. That's not how
it should work. Me as the GM, me as the owner, I can say, hey, I'm only giving you, because we saw it with Ayton, right? Phoenix was like, dude, we know who you are. We're not giving you that much money. But Indiana said, well, we think you're worth this much money. And then they went, yeah, okay, we'll give you that. Neither one of them went to the max. Neither one of them gave him the money he wanted. So that's how it should work. But could you imagine if you sat there and it was a third party that isn't in the organization that, let's be honest, can vote against you because they don't like you? You have a bad attitude? He shouldn't be an All-Pro. That the fact that that's even possible is wrong. It's wrong.
I think with it, and in that aspect, I agree with you. But I think where the divide is between you and me, Tone, is I'm gonna be an All-Pro, and that's gonna dictate what my contract is. The fact that the media determines the extra bread right? The fact that the media determines that
it's the
actually
available.
it is
What's available total?
Because here's the thing, like Jaylen Brown, for example. Jaylen Brown has been in Boston his entire career. So the reason why they were able to sign him to the deal that they were able to sign him to, one, because they have his bird rights. He can get his bird right. He can get traded somewhere else and they can own his bird rights. But the fact that he's played somewhere this long and they want to keep him there, that matters. And the fact that if he makes the All-Pro team, it's an extra $30 million. That's extra $30 million because you're in Boston. That's not an extra $30 million because you're in Los Angeles. We like to keep you in the city that you're in Utah or in Minnesota, which I understand that part. I think Tom, where the divide is I feel like you as an executive, you are going to pay me based on my performance. If I'm an All-Pro, the fact that everybody knows what the money is, this extra money, that doesn't matter. If I make the All-Pro team, you're going to pay me being an All-Pro anyway. You're going to pay me being an All-Star, no matter what the fans think, no matter what the media thinks. That's how you're going to pay me anyway.
I don't want it in their hands. But the fact that, playing a number of games, like I said, I'm torn. I like I said, I go back and forth. So, and I was distracted because I was looking because you're talking about, the fans and the rebuild. And we know that teams don't make their money off attendance. They make it off TV deals. So the Lakers are going to make their money. But even when the Lakers were bad, and I just pulled it up, they were still top 10, 11 in attendance every single year. Even when they were between Kobe and LeBron, they were garbage.
That 16 to 18 season is what you're talking about. Like
and they placed 10, 11, 10 in attendance. So they're still top 10 in attendance when they're winning 21 games. So for me to say, hey, they got, make some moves and, 2-3 year rebuild, a 2 year, whatever. Yeah, do it. And have something in the shelf, because we keep seeing teams when Bron leaves. And again, this is not an indictment on Bron. This is not LeBron hate. We see when he leaves, there's nothing left in the cupboards. And then you got to make some food and you're like, I got no ingredients. So, you know what? Get some damn ingredients.
Keep your executive hat on for a second, Tone.
Yeah.
What kind of what stones does it take to do that? To go, we start.
Oh, you need some big cojones to say I'm moving AD and LeBron. That's a power move.
And this is gonna work. I just need you to trust me.
I think it's the only shot you have at this point. You're not going to get anything out of this.
Let's be honest, guys. I said this to you on the panel on Wednesday. Yesterday was on yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Yes.
And thank you for all the love and support. I couldn't believe how happy everyone was to see me.
Family, Tom. What are you talking about?
I meant
People ask about you all the time.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Again, not LeBron hate, but what have we seen every single time? LeBron goes into a situation, they bring in 7 to 10 new players to build around him. They're very successful. They make it to the finals. They win a chip or two, right? He leaves, falls apart, and there's nothing left. The new team he's in, same thing. Roster shakeups. We're moving coaches. We're firing coaches, even no matter if they're good or bad. Doesn't matter. It seems like at his discretion to bring in the right people. They make it to the NBA Finals. Don't get me wrong. They're very successful. The team's very successful, right? Miami, 4 years, 4 finals, 2 chips. Cleveland, 4 finals, 2 chips. The Lakers, by year 2 in the finals, win a chip. They're successful. Cleveland, number 1 seed, they make it to the final. Like they all have success. But every time when he left Cleveland, there was nothing left. When he left Miami, it was nothing. Now, granted, some injuries to Dwayne Wade, and then Bosch with his blood clots sped that up, unfortunately for them. Cleveland, he leaves Cleveland, lottery team. So what do we know that's going to happen? At some point, it's not that far away. He's going to either leave or retire, and the Lakers are going to be left as what? A lottery team. Well, you know what? If I can make that 4 first-round picks for Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, and a couple of young players, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it because here's the options. Be a lottery team in 2 years, be a lottery team next year that has a bunch of picks and is a good team and a playoff team in 3 years.
This is going to happen. So the logic is this is going to happen. This is inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's just a matter of
what team. They're going to be a lottery team. We know this. That's fact. We've seen it. You've said this before. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And again, not an indictment on him. He's doing what he should do, which is I want the coach and the players that I feel I can make it to the NBA final. I've done it before. I know that it works. So he's doing what he should do as the player that he has, one of the greatest players of all time that deserves it. So he's doing what he should do. As a team, you got to look at it and say, okay, has he taken us as far as we can go? Right? He took us to a finals. We won. Is he taking us to another one? At this stage in his career, the answer is not with the team around him. No. So I'm either going to move him, or is there an AD trade that brings in another star player that's better next to him? I don't think so. So it's, well then, and is AD the guy I'm going to build around? No. So I have to. Now, is it right now in the middle of the season? No. Maybe I tweak the roster, let them make one more run. They probably fail, and I do it all in the offseason? Sure. But that's why I said last year, when AD had that run, man, you could have got anything you wanted.
Got a haul for him, 100%. You could have got a haul for him.
Like a 100%. Rudy Gobert haul.
You could have got a haul for him. That's H for real. You could have got a haul for him, 100%.
I've been with Fluent all along. I mean, I think I made a bet with somebody. I can't remember who it was, maybe 7. But I said, I thought AD would be gone by the trade deadline, and I think that would be the wisest move on the Lakers' part. But with LeBron in the picture, you can't just make the same moves you might if LeBron
he will not.
On the roster.
LeBron
that's his boy.
No, but it's not just his boy. It's not just his boy. It's that LeBron needs certain things around him, right? LeBron needs either a creator, like when I say creator, who can create his own shot, like he had with Wade. Ideally, it's shooters, rebounders, and defenders. Well, AD, when he's on the top of his game, right, is one of the best defenders we have. Like I believe Vegas has him top 3 in defensive player of the year. Odds of winning. So he is, when he's at the top of his game, exactly a big that you want around him. So he's not going to sign off on that unless you're bringing in some pieces or a piece that's going to be just as good. So
Tone, this is, and I know we got to move on, but these are the conversations that need to be had, but they're so difficult. They're so difficult to have that people don't want to have them because they don't want to move on from what is.
Of course not. Of course.
People don't want to move on from what is. And James is one of those guys. Tone, you know how I feel about James, but he's one of those guys that we have to start talking about life after James. We have to.
What is he, 39?
He just turned 39 2 months ago.
39. Like, I get it. He's ageless. He is the greatest peak longevity that I think in any sport that we'll ever see. Yes, that includes Tom Brady, because Tom Brady didn't play at his level for this long. He's phenomenal. He's probably an alien, let's be honest. But at some point, it's about winning. And it's great that he's putting up numbers, and but it's not enough. It's not enough numbers. It's not enough to win. And you got to move on. And that's hard. And listen, nowhere near the same player. But I'm telling you, when the decision was made to trade DeMar DeRozan out of Toronto, that man was loved in this city. He was the first star that was like, no, you know what? I'm signing. I'm staying here. I am Toronto. Like, he embraced the city. He adopted the city just like the city adopted him. But it was a move that had to be made to get over that hump. And again, I'm not comparing talent. I'm comparing love. I get it. The fans of LeBron, they're going to be like, you're crazy. You don't trade LeBron. But you do. At some point, you do. And AD, for sure you do. Yeah.
And to the dude, Tank Jones in the chat, you wasn't running your mouth when he put 30 and 13 on your Oklahoma City Thunder and shut the door on SGA in the last 5 minutes of the game. You didn't say a word about Jason Tatum then, did you? But now you're running your mouth about him looking sorry now.
You love
the game just started.
Oh, you love Jason Tatum, bro.
I'm sick of the. I've never heard the. I won't even get started. I won't.
Yeah, don't.
I won't.
Okay,
I will not.
Let's actually. So really quick, we're gonna get into the trade deadline. I want to maybe we can have a couple of you guys on later in the show to hear if you have any trades that you're hoping to see made. we'll go through a breakdown of some of the announcements that have already been made. But for now, we'll read Angie's super chats. She said, "What's better, NBA All-Star or NFL Pro Bowl?" Joe?
Tone, if I said to you, today is February the 1st, 2024. If I said to you, Tone, 20 years ago, February of 2004, Tone, in 20 years, the Pro Bowl is going to be a flag football game.
Wouldn't
How
have
would that
believed
go? Hell no.
Wouldn't
What?
have believed you. I would have said you're nuts, you're crazy. I would have said Haley's camera froze. I would have said a million different things.
What's wrong with it?
And none of them would have been that it's a flag football game. You know what I thought you were going to ask me, and I had an answer ready, so I'm going to ask the question I thought you were going to ask and answer it. Right. I thought you were going to say, if you had the NBA All-Star game on and the NBA Pro Bowl game on, and they're both on at the exact same time, which would you watch?
What are you watching? Mm-hmm.
And my answer was, I'd read a book.
Neither of them. I mean, Mike Malone said it last year. This was the worst All-Star game that I've ever seen. And this is what the NBA All-Star game has now become. This is what the NBA All-Star game has now become. It's become exactly that. It's become a flag football game. That's what the NBA All-Star game has become. And I'm good. I'm straight on that.
And it's funny because when you say what's better, the NBA All-Star game or the NBA Pro Bowl game, I would say the All-Star game is better because you get to see, unfortunately, you get to see some really cool like alley-oops, dunks, guys shooting it from, the logo. Like there's still an entertainment value to it, right, versus there's no kind of, not that you can't see spectacular catches, but I mean, like the one-handed grabs and spectacular things you would see in football are fewer and far between, because in the All-Star game, they quite literally move away and let the person go in for, throw it off the backboard and dunk it. And I'm saying, I'm not agreeing with it, but what I'm saying is between the two, it's Tone, that.
She said kick her, Tone, so she can get back in.
Oh, yeah, okay. Can you just kick me? I know.
Yeah, she said kick her, Tone, so she can get back in. Mm-hmm.
Like out completely?
Yes.
I don't think I can do that.
She can get back in.
She has to leave.
So, yeah. I Tone, the All-Star game was an event, man. It was a big deal. I looked forward to the All-Star game as a kid. I looked forward to the All-Star game as a younger man. I looked forward to seeing Jordan go against Drex and Isaiah Thomas and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade. I looked forward to that because it wasn't just a dunk fest. It was these guys actually going at it. Now, what it is it's okay, you go, I go, you go, I go, and we're really not going to compete. What we're going to do is just get out of each other's way. The NBA All-Star game was, is, and will always be touted as the best pickup game that you'll ever see. That's what it's supposed to be.
But it's not. Like it was funny because I just saw a clip of the U.S. Olympic, the original Dream Team, and it was showing their practice. That day when Mike and Magic were going at each other, and I'm like, if I could get half that intensity at an All-Star game,
right?
Like it'd be the best game of the year.
Yes,
and we don't get half of that intensity because. I don't know why, because the funny thing is, and we all know people who play sports, when you don't give 100%, that's actually when you get hurt, right? It's when you're not giving it 100%, when you're kind of taking it easy, that's actually more often than not when something happens because you're not doing what you're used to doing. So, the fact that these guys, just think about it. How hard do you think players practice? Harder than they play in the All-Star game, right?
Probably, yes. Definitely.
So it's okay to practice every day that hard, but you can't play one game a year that hard?
Because I'm afraid I'm going to get quote unquote hurt, when in reality, what it really is you're going to get shown up and you don't want to compete. That's really
now you have it. That's what they don't want to do. They don't want to get dunked on by, friggin' whoever. They don't want to be on someone's poster from the All-Star game. But dude, but you'll do it in a game, do it in a practice. Like, just we know. Listen, if I get dunked on by LeBron James in an All-Star game, versus I get dunked on by I don't know who, Jackson Hayes in the fourth quarter of an actual game, I'm taking LeBron in the All-Star game because I've made it to the All-Stars and it was LeBron James. So he does that up to everybody. Mm-hmm. So that mentality of, I don't want to be a meme, right? I don't want to be that guy on that TikTok that's, oh, look at that. Dude, let it go. Let it go. I don't know if Haley's coming back, so I'll go through. You want to do football or more basketball?
Let's start. Let's get into a little bit of football, Tone. Let's do that.
Oh, I wonder why.
Let's do that. I'm all for getting into some football. Sure. Let's do that, Tone. Sure.
So your San Francisco 49ers.
Just a little bit. We don't gotta do a lot. Just a little bit.
Your San Francisco 49ers and the chefs from Kansas City.
Great
the chef
Great
in a week and a bit in the Super Bowl. Are you surprised at the matchup?
Actually, is what I wanted, Tone. I thought this was before the season started, that I thought that this would be a rematch, the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers in the bowl game. And this is what I wanted, because I thought when we played them in 2020, we had them beat. It was a 2-possession game with 5 minutes on the clock. We had them beat, and we did not perform well in terms of our defense. We gave it up. Patrick Mahomes is who Patrick Mahomes is, and that's the guy that I'm worried about. But I think this year in particular, with our defense, this is going to be the ultimate test for us, because we already seen a bunch of different quarterbacks. If we can handle him, not saying shut him down, Tone, if we can handle Patrick Mahomes, I think that we got a shot at winning this, because I've seen what Brock Purdy can do. I've seen him make broken plays into something. I've seen him make good throws. I've seen him do everything necessary in order to win. I've seen him do that. So with my crew, I think we got the best run. I think we got the best run game. I think we got the better defense. They got the better quarterback, and I think he's going to be the difference. If we could slow him down, I think we win the Super Bowl.
I don't disagree with anything you said, but you're missing one thing, and there's no way to get it, and it's what's going to cost you the game.
Taylor Swift.
Just kidding. Taylor Swift is the answer. Taylor Swift is the answer, and the NFL
is she the problem? Is she the X factor?
The NFL wants nothing more. The NFL wants nothing more than to get 50 million Swifties to start watching, and more importantly, to start buying merch. Right? They're going to all go buy their little pink Kelsey jerseys. They're already on sale. Go to sportsfluent.com, click the link for NFL Shop, and you can get them. They're pink Kelsey jerseys. I got to actually post that one up now that I think about it, because that's what they want, because it's going to mean hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and you don't want them going and losing. They need to go and win, and you need to have Kelsey hugging Mahomes and Swifting, and that's, unfortunately, if there's no script, the 49ers win this. This is going to be the proof if there's a script or not. If there is no script, the 49ers win this, and they win it big, because they are a much better team than Kansas City this year.
We are better than them, H. We are definitely better than the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure of that.
I don't know that it's scripted.
The reason why you huffing like that, H, because they got Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
Well, but I am a bit. Look, you know how I am with conspiracy theories, chat. Mm-hmm. You guys know, both of you know very well. So yes, there are so many things that point to the NFL being rigged. Even NFL players have come out and said. But I think that also could just be an excuse for things not going according to plan, I guess. But no, I mean, I agree with you, Fluent. The marketing itself that comes from Taylor Swift, and look, I've heard a lot of people, I get it, it's annoying that we see her constantly, but it was annoying that we saw Patrick Mahomes' wife every 6 seconds too. Like, there's just certain things that can be annoying. I don't know if Taylor Swift I don't think she necessarily wants to bring that upon herself. I think she's annoyed too, but all that to say, it's Patrick Mahomes, Jay, you nailed it. It's Patrick, whatever middle name Mahomes, because he is. I've never ever bet against Mahomes, because I've seen him. He's too good. He's the Steph Curry of the NFL. You never know what he's gonna throw at you. I truly believe that.
The Steph Curry.
He's the Steph Curry of the NFL. Absolutely.
Hey, are you a Swiftie?
I used to be for sure. I'm not a huge fan of her new stuff, but I like Taylor Swift. Yeah.
You were a Swiftie for a while.
Yeah.
You used to shake it off?
Yeah. No, it's the old albums that I liked. But
I wouldn't even. That's the only thing I know is that what I just
I was
said.
never. Yeah.
That's my extent of Taylor Swift knowledge.
I liked One Direction. That's my guilty one that I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed about that one.
Which direction?
Could the NFL, Tone, could the NFL have scripted this better to have the Chiefs in the bowl game with Taylor Swift, considering how big a deal the bowl game is?
The only
thing
the
camera on her.
The only thing I said
they
that
think
would
it's a fake they think it's like the relationship itself isn't even real, or they think like, I mean, this is what they say, so who knows what they say, but they think Travis Kelce is going to use his Super Bowl ring to propose to Taylor Swift.
That'd be lovely. That'd be cute. If he stood up there with the award and looked out into the crowd and said, "Swiftie, will you marry me?" That would be. Forget about going to Disney World. I'm going to Swiftie Land.
But it's football. Why does all that? Why do we have to involve all this other stuff? You know, like it's just a pure thing.
Because it's not football. It's not football. Yeah. It's entertainment.
It's not the game I loved.
And all I was going to say was scripted. If it could have been scripted better, and I thought that's what they were going, right? If you watched the first half of the Niners and Lions, I thought they were going Eminem versus Taylor Swift, which would have been good. Would have been good. Now they're going.
Speaking of, I haven't seen you guys. What the heck? Give me your thoughts on that game, Jay. We're going to the Super Bowl.
We are going to the bowl.
I'm so excited.
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
Years, relax.
But it's like it's the matchup we've been wanting since we started this podcast, for
4 years ago. You guys have said you want another shot at Mahomes, and unfortunately, you're going to get it. You might not be happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
Because let's just keep in mind, this dude has been a starter in the league for 6 years. He has played in the AFC Championship game 6 times. He has now made it to the Super Bowl 4 times, and he has won 2 of the 3 that he's played in. One outcome still to be determined. And let's be clear, he's only lost in the playoffs to 2 people: Joe Burrow, who's considered a great quarterback, and Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback. Like that's the only people he has lost to. So and listen, this was the year that broke all the trends, that broke all the rules, right? Top 5 paid quarterbacks, blah, 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 blah. It's all gone now. He has he has very limited in his weapons. His defense isn't great. His offensive line is banged up. His wide receivers are suspect at best. We talked about them not being able to catch 5 minutes ago, right? Even Travis Kelce has had one of his worst seasons. This dude still got him to the Super Bowl. Dude still got him to the Super Bowl.
So when the game started, I have never, in all my days watching the 49ers, and this goes back 30 years, never thought that we were going to get smoked like I did watching that game on Sunday. I'm watching this thinking to myself, they're going to shove the ball down our throat, and we can't do a damn thing about it. These dudes are about to blow us out. This is absolutely going to happen. We're about to get blown out.
I was like, what are we doing? Like, I could not. I was sick.
You both better write a nice letter to Dan Campbell. Because his aggressiveness, right? And it's what got him there.
Yep.
But it also cost him the game because he kicks those 2 field goals. We
got a ball game. We definitely got a ball game. We're having a different conversation. 100% we are. But I'm watching this, and this team they're getting whatever they want in the run game, and they actually were doing it in the second half, getting whatever they wanted in the run game. Except they only ran the football, I think 7 or 8 times did they run the football, and they still were getting what they wanted. But then they started throwing. And I was concerned about Jared Goff before this game because Jared Goff is one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's a really smart quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He can make the throws necessary in order to get his team up the field. So I was concerned about him. But the thing I didn't like about us, I didn't like the fact that we didn't run the football as much as we should have. I thought Christian McCaffrey should have carried the ball 30 times. I honestly believe that he should have ran the football way more because I think that would have opened up the offense for us even more. I think that those throws that he had, that throw to Jennings, the throw to Ayuk, I think that the fact that we didn't get we didn't get George Kittle involved until late in the second half. It was almost like we forgot that he was on the crew. Like, hey, let's go get this guy. Let's get him involved in the game. But we didn't until late in the second half. I'm thinking to myself, if we could get Christian McCaffrey going early and often, and Tone, the fact that Baltimore's gone, so I think we can run on Kansas City. The fact that I would have been definitely nervous about running on the Ravens because I got a man crush on Roquan Smith, Tone. You know I've always dug him. But with that being said, the fact that Kansas City's front four are banged up the way that they are, and I feel like our front four is better. I think we can. I think we can have our way with them in terms of running the football. I do. I feel like we can have our way with them.
I think we can with
there was a point in the game, like Detroit did actually a really good job, as good as you can do on McCaffrey. But there was a point in the game where I forget who was doing the play-by-play, but they were laughing. They were like, wow, they did a great job against him. He only has just over 100 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, that's a bad game. That's a bad game.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Like, they did a good job. And you're like, damn, that's some
I
other.
think he's the league MVP. I think Lamar's going to win it, but I think CMC is the league MVP.
No, Christian's been better, consistently better, and he's changed. To me, he's just been the clear front runner of the best player in the league. Yeah. But Jay, really quick, and then we'll jump to trade deadline. I guess I'm just curious because from what you've taken from our postseason games, our run hasn't been there. It really hasn't. Not like it was during the regular season. Obviously, defenses are going to step up. Obviously, they have all eyes on Christian McCaffrey because he's our most lethal weapon, like he has been all season. But when you say, well, we're not involving George Kittle, I feel like Brock only passes to Kittle, like, in it. They're always the most difficult passes. Like, Brock's pass selection it's terrifying to me, especially in the postseason. But I'm just wondering, like, how do we... When you say let's open it up, and maybe KC will be a little bit easier compared to all the healthy teams like the Packers and the Lions. Right. Like, they are beat up, like you said, although they do have the veteran experience, which is kind of terrifying too. But I just don't know what we do because you don't want Brock passing if he doesn't have to, right? We want to get guys running, and Debo's hurt too. But
here's the thing, though, it's not. I have a difficult time with the playing, because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like playing not to win. I mean, we're playing not to lose. I'm sorry. That's what it sounds like. Brock is a quarterback. Brock can throw. Brock can make the necessary throws. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes. Just like other quarterbacks make mistakes. Do I want him throwing the ball 45, 50 times? No, I don't want him doing that. But what I also want to do is I don't want to restrict him. My man, go out there and rock. Don't be out. Don't go out there worrying about, can I hit this guy? Can I hit that guy? That's a recipe for disaster. No, he can hit George Kittle on a 10-yard dig. He can hit Brandon Ayuk on a 15-yard out. He can hit Ayuk on a skinny post. That could happen. He can hit those guys. So do it. I got no problem with him throwing the football. The thing that I'm concerned with is if we can run the football, how much more that's going to open up the offense for us. If we could run the football against them, that's going to make us so much more lethal against Kansas City. And I think we win a Super Bowl if we can do that. I do think that. Yeah.
I want to ask you guys, I need to ask you guys a question. Sorry. I thought I'd finish this chocolate before I
Can
you take
unbelievable.
My daughter brought me.
It's either the chocolate. Not only the chocolate. Look at this dude, Joe. He'll come in here with the mochas, with the mocha.
Yeah.
He'll come in here with the mocha frappuccinos and like nothing. We don't want a mocha frappuccino.
You didn't even offer.
I told Jay the next time I'm in Florida, I am buying him. What's the machine I have?
Frappuccino machine.
Nespresso. Yeah.
Espresso machine.
I told him I'll buy him one, but I can't. I'm not gonna ship. I want to.
You drink coffee? Do vegans drink coffee?
I do not. I have a coffee machine in here because my brother, when he comes down, he'll have some coffee.
But you've never drank coffee.
I used to drink coffee, but I think my coffee now is Gatorade. Whatever they put in crack, that's what's in that shit. I'm telling you.
Dude, I drink Gatorade.
I don't drink the blue stuff. Blue stuff is very.
Don't get me started, Tom. Do not.
Yeah.
FYI, side note, I didn't even touch coffee. I didn't touch coffee until the pandemic. And
Really?
Mrs. Fluent was like, "Hey, I can't go out and like have my coffee dates with my girls. You're gonna have to
Coming with
figure it
me.
out." Yeah, no, well, because we were stuck at home, right? It was
Right.
we were locked in the house, and she's like,
Yeah.
"You better figure it out. I need someone to drink coffee with." I'm like, "Can I have like a?" And she's like, "No," and she like gave me all these different flavors and and we tried everything until one day it's like, "Oh, this is kind of good,"
Yeah.
and then it was over. Then it was over. Then it was over. Now it's 1, 2,
The
3 a day.
addiction has set in. Yeah.
What I was going to ask you though, for real, was if you could, if possible, and if you can't do it, it's cool. Can you take your 49er hats off for a second? Because I have a question that I want to ask.
Yes.
You take it off? Okay.
Yep.
We're just talking football. That's all we're doing. We're
I'm
talking
talking
football.
football.
Okay.
Mhm.
If we're going to get the basketball in 3 seconds, is this Brock Purdy's moment? Right? He's at a crossroads. There's 2 roads he's going to go down. Is he going to be, in your opinion, as people who watch football, not 49ers fan, is he going to be a game manager that a lot of people think that he is? Or is this the moment where we might be witnessing, like, because there was another guy who got drafted late, no one really had high expectations for him, and then he won this, he got in, he started playing, he got to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. It shouldn't have. It was around the defense. It wasn't because of him, but it kicked off this career. Obviously, I'm talking about Tom Brady. Is this that moment in time where we're going to look back and be like, that's where Purdy took off? Or is this a game manager? In your mind, does he have the wow factor, that it factor, to have this being that moment in time that he splits off to that alternate universe and becomes the next, for lack of a better term, the next Tom Brady, the first Brock Purdy? Or is he, hey, he's a game manager, he's going to do what we need him to do to win. That's all we need. That's all he is.
So,
there's Niner fans.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Jay, you want to go first?
Just taking off my fan hat, and we're strictly talking football. So this game clearly separates quarterbacks, both the winning and the losing quarterback. This game separates them 100%. Number 2, all of these guys, and I'm not on the fence about this, Tone, when I say that all of these guys are system quarterbacks and they're game managers. Every last one of them are. Joe Montana was a system quarterback. The West Coast offense is a system, and he ran it to a T, 100%. Peyton Manning is a game manager. When his team was up 2 touchdowns at the end of games, he managed the game. That's part of being a quarterback.
But to be great, you have to have the ability to do all those. Absolutely.
Yes, you have. Now, when you're in a position where you have a young quarterback, and again, Tone, my fandom hat is off. We're just strictly talking football. When you're in a position where you have a young quarterback who's groomed to becoming a great quarterback, we see what they're made of in the playoffs. And I've seen what this kid is made of in the playoffs, where he's made mistakes, but there's potential there. So with there being potential there, this looks like a kid that you can build around. Now, again, Tone, you still have him on his rook deal, very much like in pro basketball. You still have him on his rook deal, which means that you still have time to develop him before you really got to pay him. Yeah. So with that being said, I think that this game is going to say a lot about what he can become, because we've seen guys be great in the bowl game, but ultimately be something that we didn't see. Prime example, how about Mr. Joe Flacco? Flacco was awesome in the bowl game in 2013 against the 49ers. However, ultimately, he was Flacco. He wasn't that great, right? So I think that next Sunday we're going to get a glimpse into what he could be, and it's up to the organization now to develop him and continue to turn him into an elite quarterback, because I don't think he's that yet. I do think that he's on his way to being that. I just don't think he's there yet. I'm not sure, Tony. I'm not sure that Brock Purdy.
You're sitting on the fence. Okay. Haley?
No, I'm not. No, yeah. I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm
game manager or the next Tom Brady?
Again,
if I choose between those two.
I
don't think he's the next Tom Brady, Tone. I do not think that. Okay. No. But I do think he's on his way to being a great quarterback. I do. Okay.
And when I say great quarterback, I think we already have to look at the fact that he's going to the Super Bowl before Josh Allen, before Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah, but hold on, he doesn't have to go up against Patrick Mahomes.
These dudes in this chat make me sick, man. I swear, yo.
That's the whole.
Flacco was a top 15 franchise quarterback. There's 30 teams in the league. He's average. What are you talking about? That's average.
Just ignore, dude.
That's the whole LeBron in the Eastern Conference logic, though. Yeah, he went to 8 straight, but that's because he was in the East, right? If he was in the West, going up against the Warriors and the Spurs, would he have gone to 8 straight?
Possibly not.
Just he wouldn't have. Period. There's no if. That's a guarantee. Yeah. So to say Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have to go up against what's probably going to be. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, when he's retired, if he's not number 1, we're talking about the first or second greatest quarterback of all time. That's what we're going to be calling Patrick Mahomes. If the first 6 years are any indication, right? So they had to go through him. So yeah, of course they didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
By the way, I'm glad you brought him up, Tone, because I got a scenario for you. I'm glad I got you on line 1 because again, Tone, if as good as Patrick Mahomes has been, what you just told me about him, 6 years, 6 straight years as a starter in the AFC Championship, 3 times in the bowl game, winning it twice. Let's say Pat Mahomes doesn't go back to the bowl game again after this, but for the next 6 years, he's playing at an MVP level. How are we talking about him?
He's gonna be top. He's already top 5. I'll just put that out there right now. He's already top 5. So if he puts that up to, so you're saying consistently for another how many years?
Let's say another, because he's been in the league 6 years. So for another 5-6 years, we get this from him.
So he's been in the league 8, but yes, he started for 6. But so he's in. He plays 15 years at MVP levels, makes it to 4, 6. No, how about AFC Championship games? Does he get to any more of those?
He does. He doesn't get back to the bowl game again. This is the last time you see him in the bowl game.
Does he win? Does he win this one? Is he 3-1?
No. 2.
Let's just say for the sake of argument, he does win this one.
Yes. Okay, so he's 3-1. So you're gonna have him at spot 3 or 4, right behind probably Brady, Montana, and Manning.
So he's definitely going to be a top.
You're gonna have a tough conversation because I believe Manning. What is Manning? Manning's also 3-1, or is he 3? He's 3
in the bowl game.
He's 3-0, right? He's 3-0.
No, he lost to Seattle. They
lost Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost to Seattle. You don't remember when they lost to Legion of Boom? They got smoked in Denver.
Right, in Denver. And you're right.
Did you forget about the pick 6 he threw against the Saints for the game?
So he's 2-1. So he's 2-1, right? He's 2-1.
Yeah, they beat who did they beat?
They beat the Bears.
They beat the Bears and they beat the last team that they beat.
Yeah, when he was in Denver, but even though he had a noodle arm, so I think you're going to put him ahead of Manning. So I think he's right behind Brady and Montana.
I think
if he never makes it to another one. If he never makes it to another one, the second he gets to his 5th, regardless of even if he's 4-1, 3-2, I think you bump him ahead of Montana, and then it's just a matter of can he catch? Because the thing with Brady. Right, everybody says, all. Yes, he won. He always had a top 10 defense. Blah blah blah. He still went 10 times. Right, he still went.
That's crazy! I can't believe you said that, Joe.
He went to
what are we talking about here?
Right,
what are we doing?
Not like
you just can't beat that.
It's not like and I'm not saying I'm not lessening the NBA. I'm not lessening the NBA, but going to 10 Super Bowls is the equivalent of going to like 15 or 17 NBA championships. Like
that's crazy.
That's nuts. He went to 10, and he's not a loser. He's not 4-6 in those 10. He's 7-3. He's 7-3. If he never had to face the NFC East, he might be undefeated. So he's 7-3. So if you go like, how many times does Mahomes has to come close? He has to go 6, 7, 8 times just to be like in the same breath. But here's the problem, and I said this when it happened. Mahomes' only loss in the Super Bowl was against Tom Brady. So you can't even say, "Oh, I wish they got to play each other." They did.
Him and Brady aren't in the same conversation. I beat you twice.
Yeah,
I ain't beat you once. I beat you twice, and I beat you in the NFC Championship. I beat you in the AFC Championship, and I beat you in the bowl.
And I beat you in the Super Bowl.
and I beat you in the bowl game. I don't think those two guys are in the same conversation. To be quite honest with you,
so
I have a difficult time.
Skilled, and this is where it goes to it, right? As more skilled and as more athletic as Mahomes is, like, and you're gonna say, oh, he throws a better ball, he does this, he does that. Yeah, but I won. You can look, if you and I play one-on-one, and everyone's like, yo, Jay can jump higher, Jay shoots better, Jay dribbles better, Jay does everything better on the court, way more skilled and more athletic. But every time we play one-on-one, I win.
Served me.
I won.
Yeah.
I won. Like, it matters. It matters.
Wow.
I know it's not one-on-one in team sport.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. I think you could see Brock Purdy if he wins, if the 49ers win. So I disagree with you both. You guys are down on your QB. I think we could be seeing the start of something. I think we could be seeing the start of something magical, because not only does he do it in the regular season, if he does it in the Super Bowl, that's the difference. Because we saw a guy, Eli Manning, average in the regular season, literally average, has a 500 record. But when he made it to the Super Bowl, MVP. If you get an MVP performance from Brock Purdy, on top of the fact that he's winning in the regular season, that might be, because he's got the swag, man. That might be what catapults him to that next step. I'm just saying, you might.
Well, here's the thing, Tom.
I'm not going to happen, but it could.
I'm not down on my quarterback. I love Brock Purdy. I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan.
Okay.
We like, again, Tom, when you talk about the swag, Brock Purdy is absolutely that guy that's on the field looking at Jimmy G and looking at Lance going, y'all should have gave me the ball right from the beginning. I'm better than both of these dudes. Both of them. I'm the guy. So he's clearly been that guy. Now, where we are now, we were in the same space with Jimmy G. So until we actually win it, this is Jimmy G 2.0. This is Jimmy G all over again. Okay. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's fair. Because
it's fair.
Until we win it. And if we do win it, and it's off the strength of him doing what Brock Purdy does, I've already resigned myself, H, to the fact that we have our quarterback. This is my guy. I'm not thinking, well, maybe this is it, or no. This is absolutely our guy. 100%. This is our guy. I'm 100% confident moving forward with Brock Purdy. Now, I might be a little bit higher on some younger quarterbacks because I'm not sure that Brock Purdy, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be, but I'm not sure he's an all-pro at some point in his career. I'm not sure of that, H, like I am other guys. With that being said, I still love my quarterback, and that's the dude I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, we have like a year of sample size, a year and 5 games of a sample size.
Right.
So it's not much to go off. But we will next week. We're gonna dive into the Super Bowl picks. We'll go over all that because I know it's gonna be it's gonna get spicy. But all right, let's move over to some super chats and then trade deadline. Yes, I'll send the link if we can get through these. Smokey, Chill, Fluent, and Haley, what's y'all's thoughts on the Oladipo Steven Adams trade? The Grizzlies want to go through the draft. I like Adams rebounding, man.
I do too. And Steven Adams on Houston, once he gets healthy, that's the dirty work guy. That's the dirty work guy that they didn't have. And not only is he the dirty work guy that they didn't have, now you have basically a 1-2 big man like you're doing in Minnesota. Not only that, we can move Jabari Smith to the 3, which is where I always thought that he was. I never thought Jabari Smith was a 4-man. I always thought he was a 3. And if you move him to the 3, you get so much more production out of him. I think this Victor Oladipo trade, I think Victor Oladipo is a contract dump. I'm not sure if he's going to play in the NBA again because, I mean, injuries have riddled him. And I was actually at the game when he ruptured. I was actually at that game.
Because it was like, that was his first game back, right?
Yeah. I think it wasn't his first game back, but he was, that was against Milwaukee, as a matter of fact. And when if you could have seen his face, H, when he did it, you knew something was wrong. You knew something was wrong, and knowing Victor Oladipo, I know he's going to try to come back, but I'm not sure if there's anything left in the tank with him. But I think Steven Adams works in Houston. 100%, I do. Yes.
Victor Oladipo. He's never playing again, so that's just salary. Steven Adams, do we know the status, like when he's coming back? Because I thought I was under the impression that he was gone for the season.
This season he is. Yes, this season.
Okay, so this trade is, it means nothing, guys. Like neither guy's going to play this season. So that's
He's
my thought
expected
on
to
it.
make a full recovery ahead of the 24-25 season. The surgery will remedy instability in Adams' knee following what was a PCL strain. So
Cool.
It looks like he has more of a shot than I'd say Oladipo, but still very.
Yeah, Oladipo's career is done. Steven Adams' season is done. So when you ask what are the thoughts are nothing, because it's a trade that, like, is Adams even going to be on the team next year? Like a million things could happen this offseason.
Yeah.
So it means absolutely nothing this season. I like Steven Adams a lot. I think he brings a lot of grit and toughness and rebounding to any team that he's on. So a team that's trying to compete, they need guys like Steven Adams. So if Houston's going to be in that position next year and he's on the team and he's healthy and blah, 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 yeah, it's a good get for nothing, right? For a guy whose career is done. But I think this was done for paperwork and nothing else.
Wait, am I tripping, or was Oladipo still on Miami?
No, he's in Houston.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Well, now he's a Grizzly.
He's a Grizzly. He's a Memphis.
Well,
Yeah.
I
forgot he got traded in the offseason, huh?
He is now, right?
Prince Ali.
You know what Oladipo is right now, and you guys, you younger people won't know this, but Oladipo now is Keith Van Horn. And I don't know if y'all remember Keith Van Horn, but Keith Van Horn got hurt. He's a pretty good net guy with the high socks, nice shooter. His contract got traded like 20 times. I swear, at the end of it, he was hurt. He was never going to play again, but they needed to match salaries. And I'm exaggerating. It wasn't 20, it might have been 10. But like he's like, oh, Keith Van Horn. Like Keith Van Horn has played 2 years. He's still getting traded. So that's what Oladipo is until his contract runs out or he gets bought out somewhere.
Did he sit on the bench in every? No,
he sat at home. He had the best job. He sat at home collecting checks.
Hell yeah. Okay. Prince Ali Rogers, thanks for becoming a member. I feel like the Mavs need a solid, dirty work defensive big man. Who would y'all suggest?
How about the one you already got? Lively. How about that? The one that you already got.
Yes, but I have heard because what's his face? The other big that they have that has just been
Powell. Dwight Powell that they have?
Powell. Yeah. And I think for a while now they've been trying to move off, or fans have suggested
the Mavs should make 2 trades, or 1 trade with the same team. But in terms of the dirty work guy, they should pick up, because they could probably get him for nothing. Andre Drummond.
That's Oklahoma City's guy. That's what I think. If I'm Oklahoma City, I'm picking up the telephone, I'm calling Chicago, and I'm checking their temperature on
And if I'm the Mavs, I try to get him first, because I don't want them to get him.
Well, people are saying Kuzma or Wiggins for the Mavs. Do you like either of those?
No, God, no. And this is why I said the 2 guys. If they can swing a Drummond and DeRozan to the Mavs, I would do that.
I don't hate DeRozan. I don't hate DeRozan.
I love that. Actually,
I think DeRozan's mid-range game and his consistency, his availability to play every day, because he's in the mid-range, he's not going to, when Kyrie's playing, he's going to be out of his way. The way Luka plays, he's out of his way. He's very efficient. He can get to the basket. He still gets to the free throw line at a very high rate. Like and again, he's that guy for those games that Kyrie misses, right? That can be that consistent 20-point scorer alongside Luka. And then when Kyrie's in there, I think that's a formidable 3 in the West, because he doesn't fit in a lot of places in today's NBA, but he fits, I think, into that into Dallas.
Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, guys. I'm gonna drop the link. If you have a team or trade that you would like to, ask Fluent and Jay about, if you think it would work or have any questions, I'm gonna send that through. So feel free to comment on that or send in a super chat. Jay, any other trades for the upcoming trade deadline? We have about a week left to go, and like you already mentioned, usually we see those happen before the day of February 8th versus on that day. But is there anything you've seen floating around that you really like, a move that you think this team needs to do this?
I haven't really heard much, but there is one trade that I'm actually interested in. if the Phoenix Suns would call up Charlotte and ask for Kyle Lowry. I think he's absolutely what they need. I think he's perfect for that crew.
For who?
I think he's perfect for that crew. They could get him for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack, because this is going to be a problem come playoff time. And he's going to be cheap. Not only is he going to be cheap, it's low risk, high reward, considering what they have, not having a lead guard, having that veteran presence in the locker room, having a guy that can make an open shot, not only make an open shot, but your floor leader that you've been looking for. Because I watched Devin Booker over the last three of the last 5 games go 46, 44, 62 on 3 assists per game. When my primary ball handler is shooting the basketball like that, that means that he is not passing. And if he is not passing, we are not winning. So I could get a guy like Kyle Lowry, who I think still has a little bit left in the tank. I actually like that deal.
You know what? I actually like that one too, because they might not even have to trade for him. He might just get bought out of Charlotte and just go sign with them. Because I think that would be great for him. One last finals kind of run.
Yeah.
Because I think he's ready to retire. And I know, he's going to sign a 1-day in Toronto and retire a Raptor. But I think that's the best trade / signing I've ever heard you. That's a great. I like that one.
And I'll keep your executive hat on for a second, Tone. Don't take your executive hat off. Keep your executive hat on for a second, Tone. Now, the fact that Phoenix is where they are they in the second tier luxury tax? Because this matters when you're talking about guys getting bought out, talking about guys getting traded, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the $1 million question.
They have to be, right?
Trade for them, because I think you're right. They might be under the second apron.
I don't know. Under the second apron. That's the thing that
with those players they have, possibly. So yeah, so they might have to trade for him, and that's fine. They have players that they can trade. So
am I really sitting here watching the Lakers blow out the Boston Celtics in their building? No James, no Anthony Davis. Is that really what I'm saying? Watching right now, H? Is that going on? Oh my God!
What?
They should take away if the Celtics lose this game. If the Celtics lose this game,
this is terrible.
They should.
They'll come back. Nah, Celtics will come back. They have to. We know the Lakers. Okay.
If they lose this game, they should strip Jaylen Brown of his All-Star game appearance.
Wait, did Porzingis? Porzingis didn't make it, right?
Oh, Porzingis didn't make it.
No.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm here for it. Strip him.
Strip him.
Okay, here's a few more super chats. I know. Sports PSP, chill. If the Niners lose the Super Bowl, time to fire Kyle. Huh.
If we're firing Kyle, and Sports P is a really knowledgeable dude. I like talking to him.
Yeah.
If we move off of Kyle, which direction are we going in? See, the thing that we have to always remember.
Would you say
Belichick?
Tom Brady.
He's 87 years old, Tom. Okay.
Is he
What's wrong with being old?
He's 87 years old.
He's 87?
He is not 87.
Oh.
He's the same age as LeBron.
No.
Okay.
But with that being said, a lot of people, they talk about firing guys. I've always lived by the creed: you can't leave where you are until you know where you're going, and you can't fire a dude unless you know who you're replacing him with. And if we're moving off of Kyle Shanahan, what coaches are on the market right now? If we moved off of Kyle Shanahan, that could do a better job than what Kyle Shanahan's doing.
John Gruden.
No. Sneaky Pete.
Chucky.
No, none.
Chucky.
I would never move off of Kyle.
I'm good.
And he's still young. Like he's he's tapped in, and he has great people around him. He's a lot of respect. The team loves him. It's maybe our defensive coordinator.
Isn't it ridiculous how a win can change the perception of everything? Mm-hmm. Everything. Like if we win the bowl game, Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in pro football.
Yeah, if he loses, fire him. Yeah.
Fire him. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Nah,
what are we doing, yo?
That's the problem.
Double P. Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. Who know what number Purdy wears? NFL already showing their hands with the Rev Bill Vinovich. Still
San Francisco will win. I don't know. I saw a whole video about the number 13 in this year's Super Bowl. So I don't know.
Tone, you just mentioned it to me, man. How much better does it get for the NFL to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?
It makes it great for non-football fans, but for us football fans, we're like, okay, so honestly, like I don't care.
I'm so good. I'm straight. Thank you very much. I'm so straight.
Like Colin Cowherd, like, what does it tell your daughters when you're like, shut up, dude? Like we're watching football, man. Like, give me a break. Stop trying to make it big. Like everybody's so friggin'
sensitive.
woke. Yes,
yeah,
and
that's what it is. It's like,
you know
they
what
wouldn't mind if it wasn't like an agenda being shoved down our throats, but
you know what I'm telling my daughter? I'm telling my daughter, sit down and watch the football game with me. That's what I'm telling my daughter. You can do whatever you want. You don't need Taylor Swift, is what I'm telling my daughter.
But
you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna sit down and watch the football game.
She's gonna sit down and watch the football game. She hates Taylor Swift, and I'm so proud of her for that.
Yeah, it's
little Miss Fluent. I wish she was here. She'd come and tell you, I hate Taylor Swift. Like she told you guys last week.
Who does she like?
Like she told you last week, LeBron's a bum. Who does she like? She likes, she's a big fan of Madonna. She likes Dua Lipa. She's like,
I have a guilty.
You like Dua Lipa?
I think she is dope.
You're just looking at her.
Oh my goodness! I think I dig her. Yes, I do. I dig her.
No, because she dances, right? Like I don't know if I've told you, she's a competitive dancer, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
She's
on know that. Oh, your daughter, you mean?
Yes. She's on six different competitive teams. Like I don't know how she memorizes all these dances, but anyhow, when you do that, they introduce you to a lot of like new music, but also a lot of old music too. So she's coming home singing like Madonna and Donna Summer, and I'm like, where the hell did you learn that? And she's like, I'm like, yeah, not like so it's I think
that's dope.
That's really good, because I don't introduce her to music. My wife does, but I think it's kind of cool when she comes home and she's belting out a Gloria Steiner track like this. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, because mainstream music and media ain't it anymore. So good for her. Good for her. Child of culture. Okay, Angie. Thoughts on the Ravens collapse?
Was it a collapse?
Was it a Ravens collapse or was it a Lamar Jackson collapse?
Yeah, he wasn't very good. He missed on some throws that I thought that he should have hit on. That interception in triple coverage. That Zay Flowers fumble was the difference in the game because that's where the snowball effect started.
Yeah.
Because if he scores that, it's a one possession game. They got the momentum. They're rolling now. They had already stopped them in order to get down there, and Lamar actually had them rolling. If he doesn't fumble, I think we got a completely different game. But Lamar Jackson had an opportunity in that game to step up and show the world, this is why I am in the conversation with Patrick Mahomes, with the best quarterbacks in the game. This is why, and he didn't. He did not.
Yeah.
And yet he's probably going to win the MVP.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't think he is. That league MVP goes to CMC.
They're not going to give it to him. It's always a quarterback, Jay. How rare is it that a non-quarterback?
I wish it's very rare that it's not a quarterback. I wish the MVP was. Listen, I get it. I'm going to cut out the finals, but I think every sport has a finals MVP, right? There's a Super Bowl MVP. There's an NBA Finals MVP. I think it should come like this week when we have nothing. This is the week that they should vote and have the award ceremony, because now that you've seen what they did in the first few rounds of the playoffs, I think everyone makes a little bit of a different opinion. And because so you have this gap, right, between the end of the regular season and the finals, but I think that matters. So I think that regular season award should go right to the finals, and then it's a separate one for the finals. I get that. I'm happy with that.
Does NBA MVP come out before the finals, right?
It's only regular season. Well, they tell you after, but it's a regular season award, so nothing that happens in the playoffs is supposed to affect.
Don't you find out before?
No.
Yeah. No. You find out around the first round is when you find out who the league MVP is.
Yeah.
After the playoffs have started.
Yeah, after the Players Award.
Yeah, I meant the finals. Yeah.
Oh, finals.
No,
Sorry.
I
Yes.
agree with you.
But we already have a postseason. We already have a postseason award. It's the NBA Finals MVP.
No, but that's
Yeah.
just for the finals. That's just for the finals. So if I make it to the Eastern Conference Finals every year and lose, but I'm the best player in the NBA from day 1 until Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, like I should get a season award. No.
Yeah. Sure.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding you, Tom. So
let me
did work.
Like Tatum.
If I'm the best player in the regular season, like this year, let's say you want to give it to. Let's assume he was healthy. You're Embiid, right? Embiid. Everybody has Embiid as the MVP this year, and he gets swept in the first round. I don't want to give him the award. I think what you do in those first couple of rounds matters.
Nah, it taints it. No, it's just a regular season award.
Yes, it is.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because,
No, I agree.
again, like Lamar Jackson, right? Season MVP, plays his first playoff game and it's a stink. Oh no, I guess he won one, but still, I don't love it. I get what you're saying. It's a regular season. I just there's a gap there. There's a gap for me.
Fair enough.
Hey, you know what? I've got this water.
Sorry.
Yay. Sports PSP. Better artist, Usher or Chris Brown?
I've never seen
Usher. I'm going to say Chris Brown. Let's move on.
I've never seen either one of them paint.
Paints?
The artist? No. Artist, like musician,
Oh,
but do they mean artist or do they include dancing?
That's what an artist
That's
does.
artist, whatever you want it to mean.
Because if it's just musical, I'm going one way. If you're including dancing, it's Chris Brown. It's Chris Brown.
Chris Brown's
Yeah.
I think
He's
he
also
sounds better than Usher too, to be honest with you.
Shouldn't be talking about him at all.
All right.
Rihanna, where are you at?
Double P. I hate comparing younger guys to legends, but did Purdy in these past 2 playoff games remind you of the comeback kid? Brock ran through, he wanted to win. Brock ran through, he wanted to win.
Yes, he did.
I told you the path he's going, but these guys think he's a game manager.
No, I don't think that. I think I'm annoyed with Cam Newton, what did you do in your career, Cam Newton? Like, I'm so tired. Like,
He won an
okay,
MVP.
I know
He made it to
I
a Super Bowl.
love-
That's what he did.
And if I'm not mistaken, Brock Purdy finished 3rd in league MVP vote, some nonsense like that. Or
He didn't win. So he didn't win?
Okay.
So he didn't win.
Look, all I'm saying is I used to I have a Cam Newton jersey.
I'm not giving out a
big Cam Newton
participation
fan.
trophy.
But I'm just
He's playing
tired
at
of
that
like.
level, though.
No,
Keep
hold
going.
on.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what?
Keep
Hold on.
going.
Hold on.
Keep
Wait.
going.
I'm just
No,
ranting
don't
about
keep
Cam
going.
Newton.
Don't keep going. No, don't keep going because what you just said. No, because what you just said, I'm just not gonna let you speed past that. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. You can't say that.
Why not?
Here's why. Have you won a Finals MVP?
I have not won a Finals MVP, no sir.
Have you won a Super Bowl?
Then
I've
every
not
single
won Super
time
Bowl.
you can't do that, Fluent.
Have you? No. So you have no right to talk? Of course,
Then
Cam Newton
every
has the right
single
to do whatever he wants.
Then every single argument you've ever made, Fluent, you cannot stand by because you've never done it either. And you say stuff about LeBron, you say stuff about Steph, you say stuff about every single player, and you say that they don't have rights. No, and you say like, oh, why are they saying this? No, you're the most outlandish person when it comes to saying like people shouldn't be saying this or doing this or that. It's outrageous that they have these opinions.
When have I said someone doesn't have the right to their opinion?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to his opinion. I'm saying his opinion is wrong. And he's
No,
hateful.
okay.
Like his
Your
most
opinion-
recent
your
have
opinion
you watched
can't
any of
be
his
wrong.
like recent
Why not,
podcasts?
Tom?
He's been hateful. Cam
Because
Newton
it's
has
your
been hella
opinion.
hateful. He's
Facts
hella
can be
hateful.
wrong. Listen, facts can be wrong. If I said Cam Newton won 4 Super Bowls, that's factually incorrect. I can be wrong. If I feel if Cam Newton was healthy on the Patriots, he could have gone to 3 straight Super Bowls. Now that might sound crazy, but that's my opinion. It can't be wrong.
Yes,
It
he can.
can't be wrong.
Opinions and fact are totally different
How about this, Tone? In my opinion, LeBron James is the best basketball player ever.
Exactly. That's your opinion.
But
opinions can be
hold
wrong.
on, H. Hold on, H. But
I disagree, but that's your opinion, and you're entitled
which means
to it.
what? You disagree
But
with
I
that, which
disagree.
means you think I'm
But I-
wrong.
No, not that you're wrong. That I have a different opinion. So if Cam Newton thinks that Brock Purdy is a crappy quarterback who can't
No, that's not logic. Is this phone case blue? Is it blue?
I'm colorblind. I can't see. It looks white to me.
Okay, is this gray. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Jay
No, it
says
looks
it's
green.
blue. That's
Looks
wrong.
green.
Even though it's his opinion, that's wrong. That's literal
No, that's not an
logic.
opinion. No, that's factually incorrect. If that is blue, it looks green to me, by the way. If that is blue, and he says no, it's black, that's factually incorrect. But if I say that sweater's ugly, and he says no, I really like it, that's an
different.
opinion, and we're both correct. We're both correct because it's our opinion.
But some opinions are wrong.
No, they're not. You're confusing.
Yeah, they gotta be.
100% they are, Tom.
No, give me one that's wrong.
That's
Give me
what's wrong with the world today. Is everyone thinks their opinions are truth when there's truth and there's not. There's things that
Give me
are
an
false.
opinion that's wrong. Give me an opinion that's wrong.
Hell no.
Give me one opinion that's wrong.
That your
Tom
shirt
Brady.
is green. I think your shirt kind of looks
That's not an
green.
opinion. That's
it
not an
is.
opinion.
Yes, it is. That's my
factually
opinion.
Incorrect. No,
It's
it's
being hard-headed and stubborn and thinking that way, which is what
that's
opinions
factually.
can sometimes
That's
be.
hold on.
Brady
That's
is the GOAT.
hold on.
Man, bro.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
Okay,
That's not
okay,
an opinion. Wait. That's not an opinion because it can be factually proven that it's incorrect because this is clearly black. An opinion, again, is your thought on something, meaning something that can't be proven. So to say that this shirt is blue is not an opinion. That's just incorrect. But if you were to say that shirt's too big on you, and I say, no, it fits pretty nice, those opinions are fine. That's an opinion.
Facts can't be.
Facts cannot be opinions. Facts cannot be opinions.
But facts can't be wrong.
But
Facts
you can also
cannot be-
And you're saying that facts can be wrong. They can't
No, I'm
be.
not.
Facts are never wrong.
No, I'm saying facts cannot be wrong.
And
So,
opinions can
and that's
be.
what you substantiate your opinion with facts.
What-
Tom.
Opinions can be wrong. Facts can't be wrong. That's
Right.
logic.
Right. So what's Cam Newton's opinion on Brock Purdy?
That he's not a top 5 quarterback in the league.
That's his opinion. You can't prove that he is.
Yes, you can, Tom, because you
I
can match
mean,
Brock Purdy up
is
to
he
the
better
other
than
top
Dak
quarterback in the league.
Oh,
Opinion,
man.
hold on. Opinion is subjective. So if I have Brock Purdy as the 10th best quarterback, then I can say these are the 9 that I have ahead of him in my opinion, which is subjective. There's nothing factual. You can't factually say no, he's 5th because it's your opinion that he is.
Meanwhile, the other 9 quarterbacks that you have ahead of him, I can factually substantiate why he's better than them.
Yes.
In your opinion.
Then how do you feel?
Yes, because subjectively you can, because you're going to use stats, and someone might say, "Well, I don't go by stats. I go by eye test." You're going to say yards. Well, I'm going to say, "Well, I go by touchdowns. Oh, I go by completion percentage." There's so many. It's so subjective. Just like you said, it's like who's the GOAT. You can't. It's everyone's opinion based on their
gravity.
what they deem.
What do you think gravity is or does?
What gravity?
Yeah, gravity.
Like the actual gravity
Or
that
water.
holds
How do we
down
know
to the
it's
earth?
H2O? Let's just use water for example. How do we know water is H2O?
That is something
because
that
it's been proven over time,
not
proven
opinion
by
based.
scientists.
That's
how
not
does a fact
subjective.
become? How do we? What makes a fact?
2 + 2 is 4.
How
we know
do we know
this
that?
because
How
we
do
go
we know
1,
that?
2, 1, 2.
No.
oh, 1,
How
2,
did
3,
the
4.
first person know that?
Confetti.
Because
What's
over
that?
time,
The
enough
first person didn't
evidence
know that.
makes a fact, even if that fact could be disproven at some point.
Haley. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
This is
No. Who's the
I've
greatest
been
basketball? Hold on.
doubting
Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
She think it's Curry.
LeBron,
It's okay.
but I'm kind.
Hold
No.
on. Wait. So you said LeBron. But if we're going by your logic, which is things are proven over time, right? And how do we know that they're fact? Well, that's incorrect then, because the majority of people, players, analysts, no, all have Michael Jordan.
Then
So
I could be
you're wrong.
But I'm willing to say, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Mine is biased. I know I'm biased. That's okay.
No, you're just not
I'm allowed-
understanding subjective opinion.
No.
Versus
Hold on.
Definitely no.
Leaf's here.
I can't handle it.
Leaf.
I
2
can't.
minutes.
I can't.
2 minutes.
factual. There's facts and there's facts.
I didn't even say
are not
anything, and I'm
subjective.
being exited out the door.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Facts are not,
which is
facts-
crazy to me.
Facts are not subjective. Opinion are subjective. That's the part that you're missing. So water being wet is a fact. It's not an opinion. Who's better at something is a subjective opinion. I could say to you, Baker Mayfield's the best quarterback in this league. And
You're
if I
wrong.
believe it,
That's against a fact.
in my opinion, In my opinion, he is, because he took the worst team that we thought was going to be last, and they made it to the playoffs. So in my opinion, he's the best.
Yeah.
There's nothing factual about it. It's a subjective opinion.
Which, by the way, Todd, you got to come off this Baker Mayfield logic too. You got to make sure you come off this Baker Mayfield logic too. You do have to do that. Yes, you do at some point.
I picked him on purpose. That's what I'm saying.
What up?
Okay,
what up?
Fair.
What up?
Leaf, what you got for us? 2 minutes, real quick.
2 minutes. Well, I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game. I don't believe in nothing that I'm seeing because I'm just waiting for the fourth quarter. But real quick, I need to clean up something that I said yesterday. I said it's too many play. I said too many plays.
Say what you said yesterday, Leaf. Okay, keep it a bean. Say what you said yesterday.
I said too many players.
Don't try to clean it up and try to be politically correct.
No.
Say what you said yesterday.
I'm gonna express the meaning behind it, bro. Because I said too many players got too much light skin in them. What I was
don't look at me crazy. That's exactly what you said.
No. I know what I said, but what I was referring to, like the reference that I was trying to make was Kobe Bryant had once told Jordan Clarkson, "Yo, you going to the basket like a light skin N-word,"
right?
And then, so that's basically what I meant. I don't mean light skin in terms of skin and tonement, bro. I meant light skin in terms of attitude and demeanor and how you approaching the game and everything.
This is bullshit.
No. It's really not. It's really not. No.
Nonsense. Let me tell you why. I'm from the Northeast, and I know exactly. I know exactly what he's talking about. We talking about light-skinned dudes.
So let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something. I am Greek, and I know exactly what you meant.
I'm not. No, hold up, because we know.
I've been in your culture for 40 years. I've been at every cookout. I know exactly what you mean.
You know exactly what he's talking about.
Don't try to backpedal. Stand on it.
Clean it up now.
No. In terms of basketball, because that's what we're talking about. In terms of basketball, there are a lot of players that got a lot of light skin in them, bro. Like it is what it is.
So Leaf, real quick. Can you explain to the people what exactly you mean when you say light skin tendencies? What does that exactly mean?
It's attitude. It's the stuff that you do, like not just on the court, off the court as well. It's a whole bunch of variety of things, bro. You can't be trusted. You like we talked about this yesterday with the 65 games. It's basically a curfew. You said it, and I had to agree with you. I'm like, yo, now you wonder why I'm so subjective. You seeing players that you clearly can't trust. You can't trust.
D'Lo,
you know
like D'Lo, 3 of 12. Trade that damn terrorist. Trade him.
You know what I'm saying? So you seeing players. I think we all in here have seen players this year, the past year, that has played for the teams that we like or the teams that we rooting for in the moment that have clearly you can't trust. They have continuously can't be trusted. I got one. And he's here. He plays for this team. He played the other night, 19 minutes, and then I knew when I did the game, I called the game on my page. I said it during the podcast. I said it during the color commentary because I do color commentary. I said, yo, he's not going to play the next game. And I was right. You know how I was right?
That is
because nuts. I'm looking. Hey, Chilltown, you ever look at a player
and know who they are,
and see an injury coming?
Just know it. Just know it's about to happen.
Just know that they're gonna sell you.
Mm-hmm. It's about to happen.
Like, come on, Haley. You ever look at somebody and be like, "He's gonna fail me"?
Yes. Yeah. It's daily.
On the daily,
or every other day. Yeah.
Hold on. Fluent. You ever take one look at somebody and be like,
"Nope,
I shouldn't have gave him that money."
No, because I never give anybody any money, so no. I'm smart.
I shouldn't have believed in this dude. I knew I was wrong, but he kept failing me.
Yes.
You want to know why I'm so subjective, Chill? This is why. I can't be objective. I can't do it anymore. No.
I'm still trying to figure out what they got. I'm still trying to figure out what they got to do with light skin dudes. Because brown skin dudes have done that too, right? Brown skin dudes have also been they failed miserably too. So it's not just light skinned dudes. It's brown
skinned dudes have failed miserably.
Dark skinned dudes have done it to you too. So
listen,
I know we
only
got like 10 seconds left, but how the hell is Austin Reeves the best player on the court?
I don't believe in what I'm seeing right now. I'm just waiting for the fourth quarter, bro. Like listen. There's no way if this Boston team is either going to prove what I already know about them in this game, just like they did in the Indiana game, bro. And I basically told him, I said, if Tyrese Halliburton was on that court that night for more than 22 minutes, that's a different game. And he waving his hand and he co-signed it.
I'm waving my hand because Hayes just got an N1 with 3 Celtics in the paint, with 3 of them.
All right, Leaf, we gotta.
Haley, real quick.
What
did you do?
East.
Haley, real quick. What did you think about Dame's return to Portland?
Oh no, I was asking everyone today. I mean, there's so much love here for him. Obviously, losing in that fashion kind of sucks, but it was even weird hearing his interview. It was like I went into the opposing team's locker room and I didn't know where to go. Like that's got to be such a weird situation for him, but no, I mean it's only love. We all want him to come back.
One more thing, you in the Golden State Warriors front office. You blowing this up now?
No.
Why?
I'm making a trade. I'm trading Wiggins. I'm trading Kuminga. I'm trading whatever you have to trade. But I'm keeping Clay.
Kuminga?
But
I don't want to trade him. But I'm not trading Draymond or Clay.
Look, love. Hold up, Haley. Listen, I'm telling you for your own good. Blow it up. This
blow it up.
Trade Steph then. He's the only one that deserves to be traded.
Steph too. Yes.
I said send Steph home.
That light skin energy.
Warriors
are all light energy.
Hey, Leaf, you be easy, brother. We gotta go, brother. It's good to talk to you, Leaf. My man, we gotta go.
It ain't light skin energy. It's light skin tendency.
Absolutely, brother.
That's what it is. You gotta watch out for it, Chill. You know what I'm talking about.
See you later, Leaf.
Bye, Leaf. We
didn't get to anything. We didn't get to any other topics.
I'm just going to put them on the screen, but we appreciate all you guys. Double P, younger legends to what Purdy did, facts. We kind of already talked about this
already.
Yeah. Double P, Casey is an average run D. Buffalo showed you that. Baltimore got down so early they couldn't exploit that. 49ers should be able to run the ball, which is why last week I said CMC will be this season's MVP.
The Super Bowl MVP. Yes, agreed.
Super Bowl MVP. Melo Williams, we know Danny Ainge not budging on Lowry, but what contending team could use him other than OKC? Every other team, probably.
Every team could use him.
Yeah. Lowry's what's going on, family? Is it time to trade Zion?
Is it?
Yes. If anyone will take him.
You've been on Zion, Tone. We already know where you at. You definitely.
I traded him 2 years ago.
Yep. You've been on him. So I already know where you at with him.
Smokey, Fluent, the Lakers up 14 against the Celtics at the halves. What's your thoughts if the Lakers win? Because right now they're kicking them boys. No AD, no Bron.
When the Lakers beat the Celtics, and now that Embiid is gone, we've basically handed the East to the Bucks. So who's going to face them in the NBA Finals?
Ooh, Denver. Double P, in the words of Bill Simmons, who hangs up the phone first or faster? With the trade centered around LeBron to Cleveland for Darius Garland and Mobley?
Cleveland. Bam.
Goodbye. We ain't doing that.
No. They wouldn't even finish LeBron and be like, hey, are you interested in
Soren, name the postseason MVP after LeBron.
That's not going to happen because he's still here. That's why that's not going to happen. Bird been removed from the NBA for 30 years. Magic been removed from the NBA for over 30 years. That's why it's named after those dudes.
I've already solved this issue. The in-season tournament award will be to the team that wins will be the LeBron James Award, and the in-season tournament MVP will be the LeBron James Trophy, or the LeBron James Trophy. Excuse me. The in-season tournament trophy will be the LeBron. He gets 2. The LeBron James Trophy will be for the team that wins, and the LeBron James Award will be the in-season tournament MVP award. He deserves both. Yeah, well, no, everything else has been named now.
Oh, because he's the first.
So because he's the first, right, and everything else, like you're not going to change it from. Trust me, you're not changing it from the Bill Russell MVP award, or the Michael Jordan, whatever, the Bird. You're not changing any of those because they're such huge legends. So there's something new. He was the first to win them both. It just makes sense that when he retires, because you can't name it after a current player, that you give him and to kind of say, hey, I know that it's not an end of season thing, but I think the in-season tournament, they're going to make it big. So you get 2. And I think that's for the, 20 at the time when he retires, he'll be 27 years in the league. You deserve 2 awards after 27 years.
Fair. Probably. All right. And last super chat from Double P. My opinion is that Fluent and Haley are both right. All right.
See, that's an opinion. And the fact is, I am.
Oh man. All right, you guys, we're signing off for tonight, but we'll see you next week. Appreciate you all for joining in. Make sure to leave a comment. Please get those likes up. And if you're not already, become a member on Player's Choice.
And before Jay says his line, please check out Sports Fluent tonight at 10. The Hoopstorians. The Hoopstorians is a show where we talk about the untold history of hoops. So join us every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You got an hour. Go get a snack. Go to the bathroom. Hit us up.
I'm back. Mm-hmm. Put on a suit. Drink water. Put on a suit. Drink water. Don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Call your mother. She's looking for you. Call your mother. But until then, take it light.